Shows RP Grinders. I'm on with Eric. This is Frank. Lots to cover on the show today, including some news. Terrible Stinkos today, which I will go over during Stinkos. Eric will have a review of Mortal Kombat. I didn't get a chance to watch it, so hopefully spoiler free. Let's see. And also we have the greatest gaming icon of all time final round today. We've got 8 icons left, and only one will survive. Plus, we will tell you what's in the running for next month's tournament. Eric, have you thought about next month's tourney?
No.
All right. You have all show to decide what you want the next tournament to be. And we will do a poll like we always do. Let's see.
Well, I still want to go with the Game Boy one, I guess.
You're going to do the Game Boy one again? Okay. That's cool. No problems there. So yeah, it should be a fun if somber show today for me anyways, but get to that. Jeez. Lots to talk about on today's show. Yeah, I'm looking at your Stinko, Eric, and I'm glad you put that there cuz it's worth mentioning for sure. And we'll talk about that. But if you're just joining us, shows RP Grinders. I'm on with Eric. This is Frank. We're on live every Friday, 7 Eastern Time on YouTube. Just search RP Grinders or just go to twitch.tv/RP Grinders. And that's where the majority of the people chat. So you're going to want to join the Twitch stream most likely. But you can watch us on YouTube too. Maybe you can do a combination of both. Watch us on YouTube and chat in the Twitch chat. So, there you go. I did have a review of something, and I can't remember what. Oh, wow. Oh! Yeah. Mark that down. So yeah, lots of stuff to talk about on today's show, including what do we got news here? Got some release dates. Yeah, mostly release dates. So it should be pretty quick news today, but I don't know. We still got lots to talk about, so it should be a fun time. Hopefully you can join us sometime live if you're listening on archives on Twitch or YouTube. We're live every Friday, 7 Eastern Time. So twitch.tv/RP Grinders, or you can search RP Grinders on YouTube. So there you go. How was your week, Eric?
It was alright.
Yeah? Better than last week?
I guess.
Yeah. I had a week, man. I'll get into it during the show, but it was a week. Let's see if we got anybody in chat at the moment. I don't think we do. I think Bernie's in chat. Okay, cool. But yeah, we should have a yet another stellar show. I'm looking at the matchups here, Eric, and wow, there's some heavy hitters. I think these were, for the most part, expected. I don't think any one of these final 8 were expected not to be here. Yes, you are, Bernie. Yes, you are. You're the only one in chat. Do you feel special? Let me see. Yep, she's the only one in chat. All right. But yeah, we should be a decent show. At least I'm hoping for a decent show today. Let's see, what do we got here? Let's see if our friend Breakman is in the chatola. Not yet. Okay. We still got time. We're just waiting on Breakman. About 15 minutes away from showtime. It should be a decent show today. I'm excited. I know it doesn't sound like I'm excited. I mean, I'm sad in a way because of some shit that I got to talk about on the show, but nothing that's gonna affect the show or anything. But we'll all be okay. But looking at Twitter today, man. Twitter's on fire with some shit. Wow. I think I'm gonna put something else in my Sweeto. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What else do we got? We got some Ease news, some fantasy. What is this? Fantasy Star news. We've got quite a few release dates, so we'll get to those. News shouldn't be too long today, which is always good. What else? Looking at the agenda for today's show. I really like your Stinko, Eric, and that I was gonna talk to you before we got on the air about that particular thing, but we'll wait to talk about it on the show. Something happened in the news. I don't know if you all were following along this week, but something kind of extraordinary happened in the news, and we'll get to that as well. Like I said, Eric's going to have a review of Mortal Kombat. I did not get a chance to watch it before, so hopefully spoiler-free. If you can't do spoiler-free, Eric, I'll just take my headphones off for a couple minutes and just let me know when it's safe. Because right after the show, I'll probably watch it after I get something to eat. All of us are hungry. Like Break, Eric and I are always hungry. Like towards the end of the show, it's definitely time to eat for all of us. So one of those deals. Just waiting on Breakman to join. Lots of stuff has happened in the news this week, so I'm sure we'll get to a couple of those news stories in our Stinkos and Sweetos, along with some healthy discussion. We also got the finals of our greatest gaming icon ever tournament. We have 8 left, and they're all solid contenders. I think the dark horse in this tournament, if someone were to win this tournament, Eric, that's a dark horse, I would put my money on either Pikachu or Mega Man. One of those two. The favorites, of course, being Mario and maybe Link. I don't know. It's going to be an all-out brawl. You guys are going to want to stick around towards the end of the show for that. Find out who comes out on top. Also, we each will pick our pick for next month's tournament, which we always do a poll on at RP Grinders on Twitter, and whoever wins that poll is who we. That's the tournament that we do. So I don't think I've won a tournament poll in a few months, Eric. So I got to think of something good for the show. I think yours is good too, man. You're a strong contender, man. Let's see. How's work going, Eric? Everything going cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Better than it has been, at least settled down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any more reviews on the feed at all, or
No.
Okay.
I haven't done anything.
Are you working on anything right now that people can look forward to on the feed, or? You just
Mm,
kind of haven't thought about it.
Persona 5 Strikers, once
Oh,
ever that gets done.
oh, cool. That's something to look forward to. That's a big one. I think you kind of liked it last week. Last week we talked a little bit about it, Eric. There were a couple things that you didn't like, but overall not too bad. So,
I never said anything I didn't like, I don't think.
not that you didn't like, just something that was uh,
No,
something
I
that.
don't remember saying anything negative last week at all.
Well, it wasn't so much negative, Eric, as like.
How about you're not remembering at all?
No, no, I am remembering, Eric. Go back and listen, man. It wasn't perfect. You mentioned some shortcomings of the game.
I
Something
don't remember that.
something about maybe Dynasty Warrior like or something. I don't know.
I didn't say that as a negative.
Well, it wasn't. How can I put this without you getting all in a tizzy, Eric?
How
It
about
it
you
wasn't a
misinterpreted what I
glowing
said?
thing that you said. How about that? How about that?
How about I didn't say goddamn thing like you're suggesting?
How about you listen to the show and you figure out what I'm talking about, Eric? How about that? um, should be a good show today, guys. We don't have a ton of RPG news, but we do have some
No, you,
stinkos.
you probably remember Break throwing in commentary and you thought it was me
Nope,
talking.
nope. I remember you talking about the game, and you said if there were a couple things that not that you didn't like, but could have been better. But it
I
was
said things that could be better, but I don't remember mentioning anything about it because I think Break interrupted and we kind of moved on.
Eric when you briefly talked about it, right?
So the guy that has short-term memory issues is going to tell me what I talked about last week.
Eric, it's recorded, so that's all I got to say. It's recorded, and I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. So that's what I'm gonna say about it. If people want to hear it, they can listen to the show. If you want to listen to it and figure out what I was talking about, then you can listen to it too. Let's see. We got. The sales for PlayStation are becoming monotonous, Eric. That's something I wanted to talk to you about. Also, did you see that they're not shutting down the PS3 and Vita stores?
But
But
the PSP still,
yeah, but
yeah.
I wonder why they made that curious decision. Why keep the PS3 store open? That's kind of weird. I don't know,
What do you
but
mean weird? I like it that they're keeping it open.
I like it too. But I mean, if you're gonna make a decision to shut it down, then all of a sudden reverse course. But I mean, PS3 is two
No, I
generations
think it's
away.
because people started downloading stuff, and Sony realized they could make more money off it for a bit longer.
Yeah, I guess. I wonder how long it's gonna last. Maybe they'll put it out a month or two or something. I don't know. But I honestly don't think the PS3 store. I mean, it couldn't have made them even if they had a bump in quote unquote sales. I don't think it's worth them keeping the PS3 store. I mean, I could see maybe the PSP store staying open, and definitely the Vita store being open for sure. Um, but yeah. What else we got here? I'm gonna check that CD Keys deal. See if they still got it. They still have it. It's at $29.39. So if you want to save 50%, we usually have that in our homie discounts. But it to me it's weird. Like Eric, like these are legit keys. You know, they're legitimate.
I keep telling you every week that you talk about it that they look for deals in the various markets across the planet, and that's why they can get them and sell them so cheap.
But my question is why would anybody not do this deal? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would they pay Sony directly $60 when they could just go here, get a code that works? That's not it's not illegal. There's nothing illegal about it. They're not. I mean, I've used 4 or 5 different codes from them, and they all work, and I've never had any issues. Sony's hasn't shut down my account. Obviously, they're a-okay in doing what they do. So why does Sony charge $60 and this place charges $30? I don't know. It's just kind of a mystery to me. But and I know what you're saying. They get deal, but where do they get their deals, Eric. You know, I mean, because they have to make money, so that they're paying less than $30 for these fucking.
I think they make their money with the people that are buying them in bulk.
Yeah, maybe, maybe, but I just don't see how this company makes any money at all on these. You know, but I mean, they have to, otherwise they wouldn't sell them. You know, I mean, it's stupid to sell things that you don't make money on. Eric has a review of Mortal Kombat, which just came out today. Overall impressions, did you like it or dislike it,
Gee, I
Eric?
don't know if I should say anything because they'll just misremember it next week.
How dare you, Eric? How dare you? I will not misremember. Probably won't even listen to the review. I don't want to be spoiled on anything. I haven't seen it. I was gonna watch it before the show, but I got caught up doing some other things. So um, if I'm looking on Rotten Tomatoes, it's actually getting a decent. I mean, it's not fresh by any stretch, but it's much better than what I expected. I think it's hovering around 60%, a little less than 60%, which is nothing short of amazing for a movie like that based on a video game. So there's that. And it also, if I'm not mistaken, Eric, it's the highest rated Mortal Kombat movie.
Not hard though, considering it's
Yeah, it's
who
definitely
came
not.
first.
Yeah. Well, and then you have Armageddon, which is one of the worst pieces of shit on the planet. Um, oh man, speaking of pieces of shit, we will be talking about pieces of shit in Stinkos. Um, and I'll even talk about a piece of shit in a Sweeto. So you guys got that to look forward to. If you're just joining us, the show's RP Grinders. We're just waiting on Breakman to join the fray, and we will start the show. We have not started the show yet. The show starts live approximately 7 Eastern every Friday on twitch.tv/RP Grinders, or you can search RP Grinders on YouTube if you're listening on the archives on Twitch or YouTube. If you're listening on the feed, this will be edited out, so you don't get this. But I'm sure I'll mention it during the show. So, what else we got here? Take a look at the agenda for today. Oh yeah, we got our tournament, which is down to the final 8. Favorite going in has to be Mario. But I don't know, man. I think there's a couple of dark horses that could take the whole thing. We'll see how it goes. We got a couple of Mega Man fanatics here, so that could be an indication of things to come. Maybe not. We'll see. But I think I'm pretty happy with the final 8, Eric. I think it ended up being fairly good. You know, representation clear across the board. So when you think of gaming icons, you think of at least a few of these ones that we have left in the tournament. So good stuff there. I'm gonna see if anybody left me messages. I don't think so. Okay, there we go. I'm looking at trends on Twitter. I have no idea what the hell a Heim haircut is. But I'm sure at some point I'll figure that out. Looks like there's a multi-million-dollar orgasm cults endorsed by Hollywood. Okay, that's interesting. There's an all-electric Mustang, apparently. That's cool. That's about it. that's Twitter in a nutshell right now. Let's see. See if anybody else decided to join chat. I don't see anybody else in there. We'll be starting shortly. We're just waiting on Breakman to join the fray. And that's about it. Imagine. Wow. Apparently Minnesota is gearing up to ban cops from affiliating with white supremacist groups. Doesn't that go without saying, though, Eric? I mean, shouldn't that have been a rule, like, to begin with? Like, you shouldn't be Freak Five's in the house, and yes, Freak Five, Shock G did die.
I don't know who Shock G is.
You ever hear that song Humpty Dance?
I think so.
Yeah, there you go. That's Shock G. That was big back in the day, man. Yeah, Shock G did die. Freak 5. Let us know if you can hear us loud and clear, Freak 5. I didn't do any testing. Eric, let me see if you can hear. Let me just put on something here. See if you can hear this.
I'm going to match the color of this.
Writing's not that easy.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. I did hear that news, Freak 5. That's terrible news, man.
Oh yeah, I need to add another Stinko. I just remembered.
I have to add one too, man. I got a major one this week. If you're just joining us, the show's RP Grinders. Thanks, Freak 5. Really appreciate it. What else? Oh boy, what did that ass clown do now? Eric, I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Interview with, of all the people he could have interviewed, he chose Jordan Peterson.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Well, I mean, trash usually hangs around trash. You know, that's kind of how it goes, Eric.
What if it took the Trump presidency for him to just come out of his closet?
What's that?
I wonder if the Trump presidency has anything to do with him coming out of the closet, being a fringe weirdo.
Could be. I mean, there is that Trump effect, man. It still reverberates, you know. I mean, it's crazy. We've got lots to talk about on the show today. Usual news, some dates for games, homie discounts. I'm not going to go over too much this week.
Unless Shermer's just some tortured, open-minded person that he just lets anybody in now.
No, I mean, that's a possibility. He's
yeah, he's kind of a dumbass, but he might have something here. But no, he doesn't. You're just dumb, Shermer.
There may be something to that, Eric. I don't think he's dumb. I don't think he's a dumb man. As a matter of fact, I think he's actually quite the opposite. But I think he...
Well, there's a point when you get old enough where you just stop thinking correctly.
Yeah, that's true, too. He might be at that point where he's just, like, kind of stuck in his ways kind of deal, you know. I don't know. Shimmer,
he's stagnating.
Yes, that's a good word for it, Eric. He's definitely stagnating. He's at times very mercurial, you know, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Well, it's not half as bad as what Richard Dawkins did this week. I guess I could mention that too.
Oh man, put that in there. I don't even know what he did, man. I haven't kept up with Dawkins.
Well, it's more like what somebody did to him, but because of something he did.
Yeah. Okay, we're just waiting on break.
I have a tweet of it. I have to go rooting through my tweets.
Yeah. Just waiting on Breakman. If you're just joining us live, we're waiting on Breakman to get on in. MXT says, "Sorry I'm late, guys. The baby didn't want to lay down." Sometimes you just gotta spank it, MXT. Just spank that baby, you know, really hard. And if it cries, you spank it.
It might be easier just to do a Google search because it'll probably show up.
Yeah, there you go. MXT, just good spanking, you know, and that'll take care of that. I'm actually anti-spanking and anti-physical, just, you know, so everybody can calm down and not hate tweet me later. I don't need any hate today, man. Today's gonna be a rough show for me. I'll just let you all know right now. It's just
the only kind of spanking Frank accepts is the sexual kind.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, that's the way it is, you know. We should have a good show for you. I'll try not to be too much of a Debbie Downer.
Unless it's S&M territory, then he wants to be actually spanked.
How dare you, Eric? How dare you? You don't know my sexual...
I'm giving Bernie tips.
How dare you?
She could be the dom.
Oh hell no, man. No. Bernie's more of a submissive than anything, man. She's not that way, man. I dealt with that type of shit before. You know, I'm glad I'm not dealing with that nonsense no more. More of a domineering personality, you know. Well, I mean, don't you, Freak Five? He says, Freak Five says Frank spanks his monkey. Of course, but of course, Freak Five.
His monkey bubbles. That makes me wonder. It's like, did the monkey in Dragon Ball Z get called Bubbles because of Michael Jackson's monkey?
Yes, I don't know.
I mean, the time frame's wide. It's small enough that it would make sense.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? I have a review of a couple episodes of the Creepshow series. I'll do spoiler free. I'll just review the last episode. Actually, if you guys don't have Shudder, you guys should really seriously think about getting it, especially if you're a horror fan. I don't get paid by Shudder, but it's a good service. It has lots of good horror flicks. It's got the Creepshow series. I'm expecting it'll have Walking Dead eventually because Shudder's an affiliate of AMC. It's got tons of old movies, new movies, exclusives. It to me, it's the best value in streaming. I have Netflix. I have, which I'm gonna get rid of Netflix soon, man. After Castlevania, I've got no reason to keep Netflix.
You still have a bunch of anime you can watch, though.
I've been chopping down some of that anime, Eric, but I got that Crunchyroll free account, and that's kind of satiating my anime fix, man. Like it's got quite a bit on there. Eric's gonna have a review of Mortal Kombat, hopefully spoiler free.
You could watch Demon Slayer because it's apparently on Netflix and in HD, which is weird because Funimation only has the English dub, but it's only in 540p on its service for whatever reason.
That's weird.
If you want to watch the subtitle version, you have to get Crunchyroll. Otherwise, you get Netflix.
Yeah. What if you're a horror fan? Well, I'm a horror fan too, Freak Five. A horror fan and a horror fan. So,
I'm pro sex work.
Yeah, me too. So,
Pro safe sex work.
Bernie just dyed her hair and it looks lovely. That's very
pro
lovely.
non-exploitative sex work.
Yeah. Just waiting on. Okay, just waiting on, and we'll get him on in right now. The mighty Breakman will be joining here shortly. We haven't started the show yet. If you're just tuning in, the show's RP Grinders, and you can join us live every Friday, 7 Eastern Time. Yes, I am a fan of horrors, Freak Five. Calling Breakman now. Hopefully it's... Oh, there's Breakman. Breakman, you there?
Am I?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
cool.
Good. Thank God.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, man. Like, it kept ringing and ringing. I don't know. Skype works weird, man.
I spent like 5 minutes trying to explain to Frank that I said no such things about negativity about the game I was playing.
I didn't say you were negative, Eric. You're
the only thing
it.
I said I haven't got far, so I can't really comment on it. I guess you took that as a negative.
No. You said something about like there being.
Shut up.
No, you shut up. How dare you? How dare you, sir? How dare you? Wow, what a way to start, huh, guys?
I know. I just walked into something. I don't know what's going on, but I want some popcorn now.
You better get some, man. Eric and I are gonna throw blows, man.
Nice.
No, we're not. We're good friends. Let's see. We're gonna have a heck of a show for you all today. I'm glad Break is here. Break, how was your week, man? Before we get started.
It was alright.
Yeah. I had a shit week, and I'll talk.
I know. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it.
I
You guys got to give me a minute when we get to Stinkos, but
I get it.
MXT says, Frank, did you hear how WWE fired Mickey James? I didn't hear how they um fired her, NXT, but what they did was kind of shitty. They put her stuff in a fucking trash bag, and that was kind
Put
of
it
insensitive.
outside.
Well, they
They open up the door, put it outside, and then lock the door real quick.
yeah, it was strange, man.
I wish the WWE would just get set on fire so it never comes back.
I agree, man. I can't stand the WWE anymore, man. Especially,
It's a legacy though. Like they've got billions of dollars, and it's a family thing. Like the Triple H's kids will be running it in 30 years.
Yeah. Well, Triple H will be running it once Vince, gives it up.
Well, I don't know. Maybe WWE will become better once Vince leaves. So
maybe I thought about that possibility, Eric, and that could be because he has a tendency to change things like last minute, and sometimes it just doesn't work. And it's time for him to move on.
It's always got to be his way because of his ego. Apparently, he has the biggest ego on the planet.
That's very apparent, man. I mean, it's very apparent, and he's a big time, Republican Trump supporter.
So wait, the McMahon and the Foleys are related? Are you telling me?
No.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, he said Triple H.
Yeah, Triple H isn't Foley.
Yeah, Triple H is
Mick Foley and Triple H are two different people.
Yeah, yeah. Mick Foley was an awesome
Hunter
wrestler.
Hurst Helmsley was the.
His real
what's
name.
His real name.
Terry Levesque is his name.
But they're related.
No.
He's married to
Stephanie
Vince McMahon's
McMahon.
daughter.
Yeah, Vince McMahon's daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mick Foley is not related to any of them in any way.
No. And if
He
he
just worked
was
for them.
biggest ego after Frank, how dare you, Freak 5? Exiled before we start. You guys ready to go? Let's get this show on the road, man.
That's what Frank needs to do. He needs to start his own wrestling division.
Yeah,
Sweet,
right.
I'm in.
Yeah, hey, if I could run it without actually doing any of the wrestling, I'm down, man. Totally down. RP Grinder
I wanna be
Wrestling.
like the bad guy that comes out there. Like I want to be the Eric Bischoff.
The heel, yeah, like the real,
like
yeah.
the loudmouth heel, like the little weak guy who talks a lot of shit, and then the wrestlers can, obviously destroy him.
I am too, MXT. MXT says I'm gonna watch Mortal Kombat tonight. I am too.
Oh yeah. Hey, do you want to watch Mortal Kombat the movie tonight?
Yes, I do.
The
Breakman.
new one.
Yes, I do, Breakman. The new one.
Is the old one on HBO Max?
I believe it is.
Well as that other one that we
God.
talk about.
Armageddon, is that what you're
I've
talking
seen
about?
if you want to watch it. I don't know. I didn't know what you said.
I'm definitely watching it tonight.
I thought it was called Annihilation.
Eric is gonna have a review of it, so I'll probably tune out for a couple minutes while Eric. Hopefully, I don't know if you're gonna spoil or not, Eric, but I'm gonna tune out. I want to watch it. I tried to watch it before, but I didn't quite get a chance.
I only saw Wyland's review of it. That's about it.
Yeah, I didn't even see his review, so it is getting almost 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is very promising. So that's good.
So it is better than Annihilation, which is
anything is better than Annihilation. I mean, Freak 5 in chat is better than Annihilation, and that's not by much, but he's better. All right, you ready, guys?
I guess.
MXT, speaking of Annihilation, MXT says, I don't think it'll be as good as Annihilation, but, I'm guessing it might be a tad better, MXT. Plus, rated R, which is awesome. That's a good thing. So, okay, Eric, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's get this show started, man. This is going to be a tough one for me, guys. I'll let you know right now. All right, here we go. Welcome, everybody, to episode 639 of what I hope is not too somber of an edition of RP Grinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great and Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you?
Guys, Frank is down because he just learned that one of his old friends passed away 4,000 years ago. He's pretty upset about it.
How dare you, Breakman? How dare you, man? There was a passing. We'll get into it. Actually, there's a few passings this week.
Was it Ug's brother?
How dare you, Eric, man? You guys are sons of bitches. I mean, if you're trying to cheer me up, I mean, it's kind of working,
Well, I mean,
but still.
you went looking for him and stuff like that. You should have known he was dead, but it happens.
Freak says, skip the news
Don't
tonight.
carpet.
Skip the news tonight so the show ends early and we can all go watch MK. You might get your wish, Freak 5. We're not going to skip the news. We don't have a lot of news stories, but we'll get into them real quick. MXT says, in 1492, Frank and Columbus sailed the ocean blue. How dare you, MXT? You're exiled. It's going to be a competition between who gets exiled more, MXT or Freak 5.
Should I review the Ben 10 series as a whole or individually by series?
I think individually, because some of them have such different tones, because originally, like, it started off kind of Ben was growing up with the audience, so the later series where he's like a teenager.
So next week I'll have a review of the first series because I'm at the second season of the second series.
So when he's a teenager, those were geared more towards a more older audience, but after that they went back to him being just a kid again, and that's the way it's been since.
Yeah, I've never seen even an episode of Ben 10, and I really should because everybody raves about those series. So
I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's not bad either.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's kind of like Pop Torrent's kid entertainment.
I mean,
it's one of those things you just want to kind of veg out on. You just don't.
The
you see the remote, but it's like, okay.
Yeah. The best way I could describe it is kind of like a Kamen Rider type of show, but westernized.
Okay, all right. I'll check it out.
I mean, he's even got the Power Rangers like wristwatch thing that Kamen Rider has.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let's see. Freak says, have you read Columbus Diaries? He talks a lot about how seasick. How dare you, Freak 5? You're exiled. They're working on trying to see who gets exiled the most in chat, and so far MXT and Freak 5 are neck and neck. I think
nice.
two and two. So if you're counting at home there, but
we got to keep score.
Yeah, we do. All right, let's get into the news here. RPG news. All right, Eric, you're up.
All right. From RPG site, we've got a release date for East 9 Mushroom Knox on the Nintendo Switch and PC, Steam, and I guess GOG because that'll happen eventually.
Yeah.
Is that Latin or something?
No, it's happening simultaneously.
Well, you mean Monstrum Nox? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That means Monster Night.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, it's coming on July 6th in North America, July 9th in Europe, and July 16th in Oceania. And the PC launch is set for July 6th as well. And it's also set for release for Google Stadia, though it's not 100% clear if it will share the same date as the PC and GOG versions, or the Steam and GOG versions.
Yeah.
No mention of Epic Game Store, which is interesting.
Other than Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, guys, like, is Ys like one of the longest best-selling series of all time? I kind of think it is. I think it's right behind the two major.
I don't know, because like it's not as popular enough to really be bestseller, right?
Well,
I mean, it's a small company.
Relatively
Japan,
speaking. Eric, is what I'm saying. Like, it's one of the longest running for sure.
It's definitely an enduring franchise, but there aren't as many entries as, say, Mega Man.
Let's see.
But as far as like an old franchise, like games like that and Ultima and Wizardry have been around for a very long time.
I mean, there are tons of Ys games, but that's mostly just various permutations of ports that exist.
I mean, if you're,
I think he's more saying like that it's been around for a long time, not necessarily that they're like
30-year
20 versions of it. But
right.
Yeah,
this
been around for a long time.
This is actually its first year, I think.
What I'm trying to say is like,
So it's not as old as Blizzard.
or maybe it's the 32nd, because I remember this game coming out at the tail end of 2019 in Japan, and that's why it took so long to come over, because they were busy doing the Trails games.
Yeah, that's another series too. Trails, the Trails games and Ys. I always think of like second tier RPGs that are just as good as Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest for the most part, and those two series kind of like kind of are up there. Like I haven't like that. I mean, you could make arguments for Xenosaga and stuff like that, but there's no new Xenosagas or anything like that. Like these games are still coming out today. It's one of those enduring series that for the most part have been really good, and commercially speaking, I think Ys is clearly on that second tier of RPGs. It's definitely not Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. Hype, but it's up there. MXT is exiled. He says if they are like Frank's yearbook photos, which were on stone tablets, it should be interesting. How dare you? And Freak5 says Mortal Kombat Annihilation is greater than DQ8. How dare you? How dare you?
They didn't call them stones back then. They called them
Breakman, don't add to their nonsense in chat, man. Come on, man. You know better than that. All right, Break. What do we got next?
Going to this live from RPG site. Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis launches simultaneously worldwide this June. Wow, that's cool.
I need to start playing the original PSO2 before this comes out.
The company will also distribute a character creator benchmark software on PC for both versions in late May 2021, so that's cool. The announcement was made at the third POSO2 New Genesis Prologue stream aired simultaneously in Japan and English. Oh, okay. Other than more details on the character creation system and priced item packs, the stream also revealed the first 4 characters that the player will encounter in the game storyline. Aina, Manon, Garo, and Dover. No, I'm not going to make a bend over joke.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at you, Breakman. I'm laughing at Freak5's comment in chat, and he's taking the lead right here with the exile, because you're exiled, Freak5. He says, strange fact, Frank was strangely reluctant to start using paper. He kept using leaves and corn cobs well into the 1900s. How dare you? How dare you, Freak5? Well, and you guys laugh and just add to his miscreancy, man. I'm telling you, man. And MXT's in there just chiding things on too.
Well, back in the 15th century, Frank was a king, and he actually had servants do it for him. He didn't need paper or anything like that. That's kind of why he held off on the paper thing.
Yeah, and then
he got so used to one thing, and then he'd switch to another, and he had to switch back. It was irritating. So I get it. Anyway, to end the story, there's going to be a closed beta May 14th to the 16th.
Are you guys excited for more Phantasy Star Online? And those games were
played
good.
Any of the others, yeah.
Yeah, those games were good, man. This is something that we all.
I need to start a party with Breakman at some point.
Oh yeah, I see how you are. Start a party with Breakman.
Well, maybe you too, because you're no longer hooked by Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Yeah, well, I still play that daily, but I don't play word cookies anymore, man. Like I'm done with that.
You just play for your own cookies.
How dare you, man? You son of a bitch. All right, anything else on that break?
Mm.
All right. Next story comes to us from RPGsite.net. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles launches for Switch, PS4, PC, Steam on July 27th. So there you go.
Sorry, Xbox, but the last collection didn't sell that well on that platform.
Yeah. Let's see. There's nothing much else to say about that. So that's that. I'm not even gonna play. There's no trailer. Just message from the developer and stuff like that. So.
Apparently, there'll be a physical release in the English version, but they weren't very clear on whether or not it was just the box with the code in it, which would totally be a thing Capcom would do, because they did that for the Iceborne standalone release.
MXT is exiled. He says Ubisoft pays Frank to be a primary source for the Assassin's Creed games. That's how the Lost City was so accurate in AC Odyssey. How dare you, MXT, you son of a bitch. He's asking us, you guys watched the newest Falcon and the Winter Soldier? It was badass.
Not yet.
I didn't,
That's
MXT.
The finale yet.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see that or Mortal Kombat, but I think next week is the last show, right? Of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think next week episode is the last episode, so I'm sure I'll be talking about that next week, man. All right, Eric, next story.
Next story is from RPG site as well, but Tales of Arise finally has a release date, and it's coming out September 10th. With additional PS5 and Xbox Series X releases, which of course it was delayed this long, and that's probably the biggest reason why, because they figured we might as well.
Looks good, man.
Yeah, and it looks like initially they were only going to have you play as one of two characters, and now it looks like you have a 3-person party. So we're back in the PS1 era of having 3-person parties again.
Yeah. I guess, man. I mean, it works. I mean, it looks beautiful, man. It looks different, and I mean that series
and you'll be able to choose between 4K mode or 60 FPS mode.
Yeah, you know what? When it comes down to those choices, it's definitely 60 FPS for me all the way. You guys know I'm all about that frames per second.
Like, I can tell the difference between 4K and 1080p, but it's not that big of a difference.
It's really not, man. I have a beautiful 4K TV, and I couldn't tell the difference, man, at all. Well, I mean, you can, but it's nitpicky. I'd give me the 60 frames.
The higher end your TV is, the more you can tell the difference, but you need to spend thousands of dollars.
Yeah. The only real difference you can tell, like, noticeably up close is, like, and especially up close, is that you'll see less jaggies on a 4K resolution.
Yeah. By the way, I think by the end of this generation, we'll see a lot of games in 4K 60 frames, for sure. I mean, it's just a matter of time. They've got some new techniques that work on frame pacing and other things that this is the generation that it's finally going to be done. It's going to be the end of the generation, but it's definitely going to be this generation. Freak 5 is exiled again, so if you're counting, that's 4 for him. He says, if you remember the story of the talking bush in the Bible, that was just Frank, who got high behind the bush and was talking to himself. How dare you? Breakman, how dare you add to the
What did I do?
I didn't have any friends. Well, that's kind of true, man. I don't have that many friends. Let's see. How dare you, Freak 5? I'm not even gonna give him legitimacy with an exile for a couple of those comments. MXT says, I thought this week was the last one. It had post-credit scene and everything. Maybe it was MXT. I don't know. But
yeah, this episode 6 is the last one.
Okay. Then we'll have full reviews next week. I'm sure Break and I will have had a chance to see it, and we will comment next week. We will do our review next week. And maybe Eric somehow can watch it through various means.
Somebody's windows or something, like find out a neighbor who's got their TV on the first floor and likes to leave the curtains a little open.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know, glom off of some if you can, why not?
And if he's lucky, they have their bedrooms on the first floor too.
Exactly. Okay, Eric, was that yours story that you just did, or?
Well,
yeah, I think so.
Tales of Arise was,
Okay.
So you have to do the next one.
Okay, Breakman.
Coming to us live from Gamatsu, Paper Mario inspired 2.5D adventure RPG Born of Bread coming to PC. Born of Bread!
You mean like it's old?
Yes, very much. A Canadian studio.
Or East.
Yeah.
Wild Arts is developing Born of Bread, a 2.5 adventure RPG inspired by the Paper Mario. Why the fuck am I repeating myself? Born of Bread follows a flower golem who teams up with a colorful cast of characters and explores the regions of a mysterious world to stop being of another age from wreaking havoc. Start over. To stop beings of another age from wreaking havoc across the land. It uses a turn-based combat system, which you must press the correct button and know your enemy's weakness to launch a successful attack. Well, you just said it was like Paper Mario.
Yeah.
I think I meant visually, maybe.
Did you see the sub-headline for this story, Break? I thought that was pretty funny.
The
man.
hero that lands needs.
The hero the land needs. Exactly.
Oh, the hero. Okay, I get it.
I'm a sucker for puns, man. I just like shit like that. But anything else on this Break?
I see that's
Yeah.
Canadian studio.
Yes, I said that. Wild Arts.
Yeah. Freak5 says someone could slide into Eric's DMs with their Disney Plus info. That's a good point, Freak5. I never really thought about that. Frank has strangely had few friends considering how long he has lived. How dare you,
Yeah.
man? You,
I'm sorry, I would offer, but I'm sharing mine with too many people as it is.
yeah, I maybe. I'll talk to Eric maybe after the show. All right, let's move
It
on.
is kind of annoying when you turn on Disney Plus and you see somebody's already watched episodes, so you gotta start all the way. You're like, damn it!
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I pay for this, you sons of bitches. You should at least wait for me.
Somebody
I know it
hacked.
doesn't affect me in any way whatsoever, but do it.
Yeah, I know. Somebody hacked my Disney account. It had to have been an Italian person because every time I would go into it, it was like put back into the Italian language, and then all my recommendations were weird. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? I had to change my password and stuff. It's yeah.
That happened to my Funimation account.
Freak is using his sisters, so FBI, if you're looking, just look no further. Yeah, it's right there.
I'm sharing mine with family too, so.
Yeah, it's no big deal, man.
He hates that when it happens with his Pornhub account.
Okay, I have no idea what that means, MXT. All right, let's move on to the last story from.
Here's the weird thing. I don't mind that they're using it, but I do mind that when it fucks up my queue.
Yeah, exactly.
He means that it makes it really hard for him to find 4 guys, 2 women, and a goat porn on Pornhub because he can't do a search for it because he can't read Italian.
You're something else, Break Man, I swear. MXT says, Frank, same happened to me, but it was always in Dutch. Yeah, that's weird, MXT. I don't know how that fucking happens. My password was fucking phenomenal, and it still got hacked, but whatever.
Well, one thing you have to keep in mind is a good idea is to input your passwords via the phone app. And log in to another like app, like on your PS5 or something, but don't do it on your computer because it will track your keystrokes.
Yep, that's a good point, Derek. On your phone, it's a lot harder if you do stuff. All right, happens. Okay, I was reading chat there for a second. All right, last story comes to us from Gamatsu. Tactical RPG Empire of Angels 4 coming to the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch this summer. The series' first appearance on consoles. So I wonder if you could just jump in with this and not have to have played the previous 3.
I've never heard of Empire of Angels.
I've never have either, man.
Well, the name suggests that there's lots of girls and it's fan servicey.
Oh.
Well, and also suggests there are at least 3 before this one. I've never heard of before.
Yeah, and somehow they weren't good enough for consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
so
female. All female
Sorry.
cast of characters fully voiced in Chinese, along with the revised English text localization. So there you go. And I'm gonna play a quick video here.
You mean it sounds less like Google Translate? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much, man. Looking at let me fast forward this trailer because I didn't get a chance to look at. I want to see some gameplay. Oh, looks good, man. Looks actually really good. It's more chibi figures than anything, man. It's not.
It kind of looks like the Sting RPG visual levels that came out like a few years back and on the Atari games.
MXT says, "Nah, man, I was trying to watch the Smurf porn parody. Why would you watch Smurf porn parody, MXT?" And someone stopped it right after the scene between Gargamel and Smurfette, which was the best part.
You know, the Mortal Kombat porn parody that's on Pornhub missed a beat by not calling it Mortal Kombat instead.
Mortal Kombat, which is what I named the episode. I don't know if you guys saw the episode.
Mortal Kombat? That's a good idea.
Yeah. But Eric did find that porn parody on Pornhub, man. It was crazy. I looked at that link. It was weird. But...
Yeah, I looked at that link too. I wasn't going to bring it up.
I bet you did too, Breakman. You know. All right. So that is the news, guys. We are done with the news. Okay. I'm not going to do any homie discounts this week. Sony's got a bunch of shit running. Xbox, same thing. Nintendo's got a week one going this week. I didn't see anything super notable. They're, recycled bits. I think Vampire was on sale. um, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
There are games that I've seen go on sale like a few times this year.
yeah,
Like Doom, like the Doom games have gone on sale a few times, for
yeah,
instance. Like what the hell? Like we like other games other than say Doom,
yeah.
you know. It's
No,
the same.
it's the same thing with PlayStation Break. Like it's the same game. Like Witcher 3's on sale, I think, for like $10,
Yeah.
which is a great game. But I mean, I've seen the sale before, 100 times.
Yeah, just
you know.
make this your regular price then if this is what you're gonna do.
Right, right. If you're gonna put it on sale all the time for $10, and just drop it to $10 or $15 and be done with it, just the way it is. But I mean, so I'm not gonna go through too much unless you guys have anything you particularly want to mention.
Not that I can think of.
All right, Breakman, should I hit your music? You know what goes really good with Heartbreak, man?
Hmm.
Cowbell. I mean,
Cowbell.
they're just, they're in sync,
I
man.
knew it.
Yep.
Knew
All right,
it.
dear Breakman, what do we got?
Dear Breakman, this comes from our friend Free Five Chaos. And this apparently was really personal to him, and it's I guess recent here. He said, "Dear Breakman, could you ask Frank to stop asking me to steal Viagra from my job for him? His erections aren't worth my employment. Frank,
Okay.
stop asking him to steal Viagra.
Okay, number one. All right.
Order him to steal Viagra. See, what you gotta do is kidnap his children and hold them for ransom."
Right. I have never used Viagra my entire life, so I don't know where that came from. That was out of nowhere. How dare you, Freak Five? You're exiled for one. Okay, what else you got, Breakman?
Oh, Freak's playing watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force on HBO Max. Nice, good call.
Yeah.
Hey, so let me see here. Well, why are you stealing Viagra in the first place? I want to know more about this. Have you sold it? Are you making any money? Are you gonna give me any kickback now that I know about it?
See, Freak Five is a closet tweaker, man. He's the one that's always hanging around the pharmacy, taking things here and there when nobody's
Oh,
noticing.
he's the one who's snorting the Viagra.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
So
those guys, they run around like they're high on coke while their dicks are hard. It's weird watching them run. It's like a thing.
Real quickly, MXT says, have you guys seen the original Sonya Blade game model? She did a shoot wearing her MK3 outfit and looked awesome. I have not, man. I have not.
Oh wow, he says he added more to this. He said, and he's really creepy about it. He says, "Frank, will you give me a boner?" Wow, Frank, why are you asking him that? I am not stealing from my job, Frank. He's telling you now. He keeps doing it.
How dare you, Freak Five, accuse me of that, man? I think what happened is he got high on the weed that I sent him, and he went into a tizzy one day and freaked out at work, and people were questioning his sanity, and
It was like that episode of South Park where Kenny gets really high and he's in the imaginary world. Is that what happened to him?
Yes,
That'd be
yes,
awesome.
Exactly. You got it, Breakman. There you go.
Nice.
What else we got, Break?
Oh, that's the only thing we have in here, Break, man.
Oh, that's it.
But I want to know more about snorting Viagra. We need to
I wonder what would happen if you did snort Viagra, man. I don't think that would be too. I don't think it would work that way, man.
make your nostrils hard.
Your nose is like Pinocchio, after you snort it.
Your eyelashes have become erect. Like your eyebrow hair sticks out and shit. Like what's up with you, man? What happened?
Exactly. All right, let's move on.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know what you've been playing, Breakman.
I've been playing a few things actually. Let me see here. I've been playing Far Cry 4 more. I think I'm past the halfway point in the game, so I'm not sure how much more gameplay there is. But I've been doing a lot of the side quests and shit too. So
yeah, so much fun.
Search chest. Ooh, another. Oh, there's another one. Ooh, another one.
So much stuff to do in that game, man. I gotta get back into Far Cry 4. I got it free on PlayStation Plus, and I haven't been back to it since it came out on PlayStation Plus. But it's a good game, man. I'm glad you're enjoying that game. Break.
And I've only played a couple other ones. I played some Fallout Shelter. I've been enjoying that game a lot. It's just whenever I feel like playing it, not like obligated to play it, phone game is nice. Kind of relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they definitely want money out of me. Like, hey, this is free to play, but you can have more fun. You can do this and this. Give us money.
That's how they get you, man. They always want money. For some
And I
free
look
to
at my wallet and say no.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Marvel Puzzle Quest, man. Like that game, you don't need to spend a penny on it, and it's great. But it's kind of like, we got these characters that you want really bad that you've been bitching about trying to get, but you got to pay $20 to get the pack, And it's like,
jeez, that's ridiculous.
I mean, they got ranging.
Pay $20 for a chance at getting a character.
No. They got guaranteed like character packs, man. It's not like loot boxes, man. Like you know what you're getting, but still, it's like I'll wait for random chance when I get it later. It's like
they are loot boxes in Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
So that's that.
MXT says he wants an RPG based in World War II where the final boss is Hitler, who has used the Spear of Destiny to transform into a monster but that'll never happen. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, Doom goes there pretty good, man. I mean,
I was gonna say that sounds like Wolfenstein.
Yeah, there was a Doom RPG. Why isn't there a Wolfenstein RPG?
Yeah,
I liked the Doom RPG. That cell phone game was really nice. It was really well done, I thought.
Why'd they remove it? Bring
know.
it back, fuckers.
All right, what else?
I don't know why they're doing anything. And the other thing I was playing was before the show. I was playing MLB The Show.
Oh, that just came out, didn't it?
Yes, and the presentation in this game is unfucking believable.
Yeah, I was
Is the best baseball game in like 20 years.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I haven't had a PlayStation, and Xbox has gotten the short end of the stick with an MLB game. We haven't had one in a while.
Yeah.
And that's the reason MLB told them, like the makers, like this is a multi-platform game this time. We need more people playing it.
Yeah.
Like if it was up to Sony, it would not be a multi-platform game.
Yeah, I know, but Sony doesn't want to put up a lot of money for a baseball game that people are going to play for like 2 months and then go on to something else. But I agree with you though, Breakman. They should have been multi-platform from the jump. It's not a big deal. Let's see, because the Empire of Japan would be the bad guys in the game, so no
says the
JRPG.
Japanese team has to make it.
Yeah, why can't it be a European team, man? There's been teams out of Spain and Portugal and
if the setting's European anyway, so they should be able to make the game.
Let's see. I want in on this review stuff. Next week I'll review a game as well. Okay, MXT. Call into the show next week.
The closest thing I can think of is that awful Xbox 360 strategy RPG called something of Darkness or whatever.
Nobody plays European RPGs. How dare you, MXT?
I think I know what you're talking about. It sounds vaguely familiar. I have to think about that one.
What else you been playing?
No, I've been playing MLB The Show. I only got to play one full simulated game, which was just the presentation is amazing. Watching the batters come up to the plate, and I don't watch a lot of the other teams.
Because I think the plot of the game is you fight Nazis as lichens. Yeah, you're werewolves.
Yeah. All right.
But watching the players like Joey Votto and Mike Moustakas and such like that, they stand the way they actually do in real life, and they kind of have the same mannerisms and stuff like that. It's just cool to watch. Like,
hey, Breakman, now that we're talking baseball, I am.
And I want to say another thing too before I get sidetracked again. It lets you choose like what kind of pitching, hitting, catching, and running you're gonna do. Like you can have automated by the computer. You can. There's just different styles of doing things, which I fucking love. Yeah. It lets you choose how you want to pitch, for instance.
Yeah, you can play small ball. Yeah, it looked really good, man. From what I saw, it looked really, really good. I was thinking about getting that game actually, but I think I'll wait till it drops and price.
Well, you got an Xbox. You got a Game Pass. It'd be free.
I know, but I'm a cheapo and I don't have X Pass. But
that's why I don't have a PlayStation because I'm a cheap ass.
Exactly, we're both cheapos, man. We're just cheapos on either side of the aisle. I'm more Sony related. You're more Xbox, but I do like Xbox, and I'm gonna get the new Xbox, and I'm thinking about getting that Game Pass because it seems like the thing to do to play a lot of cool games.
I love
All right. What else you been playing, Break?
That's it.
All right, Eric, you're up.
I've played more Pokemon Ultra Sun, more Persona 5 Strikers. Getting to the end of that. Have a review soon.
Awesome. MXT says he found Resident Evil movie collection in the $5 bin, so he grabbed it. I'm sorry, MXT, you wasted your $5. I'm sorry about that.
They better been $5 worth of Blu-rays because that's DVDs. You wasted your money, I think.
I think you're wasting your money either way. It could be 4K,
Yeah.
it could be 8K, and you'd still waste your money, man. So, yeah, MXT says Game Pass is worth it. It does look like it's worth it, man. I'm curious about it. Although
I've played several games for free so far, including Final Fantasy 15, and just saying. And I think they said Madden is gonna hit the Game Pass this year.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
would be nice. Madden needs to change, man. That game sucks, and it's terrible. I'll pay that to
it
look
doesn't
at.
have any competitions. Why?
I
It's
don't-
not back like. Remember when it had NFL 2K going up against it?
Yep,
Like those games were so good because they were competing against each other.
Yep,
They're
yep.
trying to like outdo each other.
and I always like
Those were so
2K. I always like 2K better, man. I don't know why. I
Me
just
too.
always like 2K.
2K
better.
and the ESPN games, which they changed the name to ESPN, those were better.
Yep.
I think.
Yep, I agree. I totally agree. Let's see. Okay, that was it. I didn't get to play much of anything, to be honest with you guys. I had a really rough week, which I'll get to in a minute. No, I'll explain why. So, but let's move on. MXT says they need to bring back 2K football. They really do, man. That would change. That would be a game changer. It would force EA.
I don't know. I mean, have you seen 2K, NBA 2K? They're kind of shit.
I
So,
liked
They
NBA
bring the same
2K.
level of quality of the football games, is what I'm saying.
I liked NBA 2K for a long time, Eric. But I agree. Like the last 4 years haven't been really great. So, whatever.
This is the same company that gives us terrible WWE games.
How many of them do they show her naked body? You mean Mila Jovovich? Who cares? I think Mila Jovovich is overrated. She's a decent actress, but I don't think she's the best looking woman on the planet, to be honest with you.
And
That makes
man,
sense.
who cares what you think? Well, tell us what's the answer.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that. All right, reviews. I'm gonna review the Creepshow series up to date. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just gonna say, if you don't have Shudder and you're a horror fan, what the fuck are you doing? It's the cheapest, best value on the internet for streaming, especially if you like horror. The Creepshow series is just vintage Creepshow, man. It is awesome week in and week out. This last week's episode was with Ryan Quanten and Breckin Meyer. They're basically astronauts, and it was a two-man show basically. And I'm not going to spoil anything on that. It was just such a fantastic episode of Creepshow. It deals with space madness and aliens, and oh man, so good. Barbara Crampton was in the next one, and oh man, just when you think Creepshow it can't get better, it really does, man. And there's not a lot of misses. I have yet to see an episode this season that's a miss. Just good stuff all the way around. So, good stuff. MXT in chat says NBA 2K has the same problem that WWE 2K has. They found a formula and just update rosters. Yeah, that's
and they don't fix the problems that already exist.
Yeah,
Like the fact that the game doesn't run sometimes.
Yeah, no. How do you know if I'm pleasuring myself or not, Breakman? How dare you?
I said sounds like it. I'm just saying.
No, that's me.
Oh yeah, that's Bernie.
Mm.
She's the one behind the scenes.
That's the squishing noise we hear.
Yeah. Get out of here, Bernie. What are you doing? Okay. Eric is okay. This is your. I doubt Eric is gonna spoil anything, but this is.
I have a review too.
Oh wait a minute. I'm sorry, Breakman. You go ahead,
No,
Breakman.
go ahead with his. We're doing his, but I'm saying I got one too.
Well,
before we move on.
break. Let's do yours first, and then let's do because I got to take my headphones off for
Okay.
Eric's. So.
Well, I put I watched the movie while I was doing other things, basically, because something on in the background, and it was just kind of the first one that was on. I was like, "What is this?" I flipped the ID, the info, and it just started playing. I'm like, "Ah, fuck it, I'm doing other shit. And I'm gonna give the movie a 5. I'll tell you a rating now before I tell you what the movie is. And this is a higher rating than the movie deserves, but I will tell you why I give it that in a moment. The movie's called Thunder Force on Netflix. Um, the premise of the movie is basically there is a world with no superheroes, but there are supervillains. And uh, two friends, one of them it starts from their childhood, and then they lead up to their middle-aged women become superheroes. So Melissa McCarthy and then the other one, I forget
Octavia
who her name
Spencer.
is. Thank you.
Yeah.
They become superheroes, and it is as fucking ridiculous as it sounds. Obviously, I give the movie 5 points, and it's really only worth one. But the 5 points are here. Two of them I give to Melissa McCarthy for. I mean, really, she put it all out there in this movie.
Yeah,
Like,
she was
she just
fun.
went all in.
Yeah. I saw
And
this
there
too.
were some funny scenes in it, and like I thought she did a really good job. Like she was just funny sometimes, even in a terrible movie. You said you watched this too, Frank?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other 2 points to Justin Bateman's magnificent, maybe one of the best I have ever seen mullets. It was spectacular.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you have to see his mullet in this movie. It is a thing of beauty. It is glorious.
You know what? I think you're a little harsh on this movie, Breakman, but I actually give it a little higher. I give it a 6 out of 10. I
Really?
thought it was just fun. I know it was stupid and I shouldn't have liked it, but I found myself laughing more times than not, man. And anytime a
That's kind of the
comedy
whole
does that.
premise of like all Mel Brooks films. They're all shit, but they're funny.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I guess the thing for me is I didn't laugh as much as I wanted, as I thought maybe. It was a good movie. I see everybody else likes it for me. Okay, but I just the whole romance with the crab and the woman, like
I
that was
thought
just
that
like,
shit was funny as fuck, man.
oh
Like
God, the only thing funny was when he donned the mullet and he put on that suit and was dancing. But that mullet, oh God damn, that
Breakman,
mullet.
you can't tell me you didn't fucking laugh when you saw him like crabbing, like going side to side with his
That
crab.
was funny. That was funny. I'm talking about like the romance
Yeah.
with them, like her putting butter on him and shit.
Yeah, Bernie liked it. She says I love the crabmans. Crabmans.
Him walking like a crab was funny. Justin Bateman was pretty good.
He was good in the movie, man. No question. I think he was a scene stiller for sure, man. But
I think with a better cast, the movie probably would have been better.
I don't, man. Jason Bateman, Melissa McCarthy, Octavia
They
Spencer.
did a good job, and
Yeah.
I think she did too. But I don't know.
It wasn't
It
the
was-
greatest, man, but it was fun.
And it was so predictable. Like, come
Yeah.
on, didn't you see the woman and knew immediately like she was the traitor, like right
Yeah.
away?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
the whole I know, like
It
movies
was
that have more
ridiculous.
ridiculous
I agree with
premises,
you
it's
100%, Breakman. It was a ridiculous movie. I thought it was funner than what the critics are. Critics are savaging this movie, man. But I thought it was better than that, man. Just based on what you said, man. Like Jason Bateman was fantastic in it. Melissa McCarthy's always good. Octavia Spencer is an Academy Award winning actress. Octavia Spencer was the woman last week. I couldn't remember her name. From Ma, yeah. And that's an excellent movie. That's an underrated gem, man. If you guys it's on HBO Max too, I believe. It's called Ma, and you guys should check out that movie. It's kind of scary, kind of good.
We should watch that tonight.
Yeah. So,
I
I'm-
can't believe you enjoyed that movie that much.
I-
Like,
I-
I watched the whole thing. Like I sat through all of it. Like I was doing other stuff, but it occasionally make me laugh. But there's just so many things in it where I'm just like, Jesus.
yeah.
And
It was-
we're like this humor's kind of retreading a lot of stuff we've seen before. You know.
Yeah, it was definitely a retread of humor, but I don't know. It just for me it kind of worked, man. I didn't think it was as bad as what people were letting on, but you know, I mean, if there's a movie that just like makes you laugh, man, then you know, I mean, like
Oh, there's movies like Kung Pao make me
yes,
laugh.
yes.
Like I've never watched that movie and not laughed, and I've seen it like a billion times.
Kung Pao's a great movie, man. That's
Yes.
a great movie. That's an underrated gem too, man. Like,
Yes.
if you ever go to Rotten Tomatoes and they give you know, something like 30% that's either a horror movie or a comedy, it's worth checking out at least. I say because they usually get comedies and horror movies completely wrong. Usually.
Well, they want more of a plot than people want to joke and they want to laugh. Like one of my favorite movies is There's Something About Mary. Like it's not a great plot. Who cares about the plot? The movie's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, the movie's fun. See, that's kind of how I feel about this movie, Breakman. Like it's the plot aside. There's no, I mean, the premise is
like
there.
I said,
but
I've seen more ridiculous from it's just them as superheroes. Like the whole idea, like that her goal from the beginning was to make herself a superhero. Like she was a fat kid to begin with.
yeah.
Like, wouldn't the goal be to make somebody, who could maybe use the powers better?
Are you saying that fat people can't be superheroes, Breakman? How dare you, fat shame?
No, there are fat superheroes, like Bouncing Boy.
Yeah, not very many, to be honest with you, man. But
I'm still thinking. The later iterations of Squirrel Girl's kind of thick-hipped.
like Owlman from Watchmen, right? Like it kind of over the hill kind of.
There's a fat superhero in My Hero Academia, but the thing with him is that he's normally thin and he eats because when he gets fat and he absorbs the blows of his opponents, he can redirect that energy back at them.
Okay.
There's a really fat superhero in One Punch Man too.
Yes,
he just eats the enemy.
Yeah. Yeah, I love One Punch Man. I got to see the second season, man. That's a good fucking show.
I love that show. Yeah.
MXT says, love him or hate him, Anderson Cooper is killing it on Jeopardy. Dude sounds just like Alex Trebek.
You know what? I gave Aaron just a lot of grief as I was watching it, but I thought he did an admirable job.
I think
people were hating on him for no reason.
I thought, what's his name? The Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers did pretty good too, man.
What I just said like a second ago.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Anderson Cooper, man. That's what.
No, I said Aaron Rodgers. Is what I said.
I thought you said Anderson Cooper. I'm sorry.
Also, another thing with the superheroes, like he ends up thin again after he unleashes that energy because it burns calories when he does that.
Yeah. Okay.
I bet he's fun in bed.
I need to clip that out, Breakman. That's a great little quip there, man. I bet he's good in bed.
I meant it, Frank. I just meant like, he's going at a woman and like, he's big and big and big, and all of a sudden he goes little.
That's not quite how it works. He has to be punched a lot. Usually.
Well, maybe you could do a little S&M, I mean...
I know, maybe he likes that kind of stuff.
All right. So yeah, the Creepshow series so far so good. And Break, you say no on Thunder Force other than Bateman and a couple Melissa McCarthy.
If you like Melissa McCarthy and you're just, if you want something on the background, sure, whatever.
It's just stupid fun, man. Like that,
to me, there's so many other movies you could watch. It's just more worth your time. Basically, that's why I give it such a low score.
That's a fair point, man. I guess that's a fair point.
Like, if it was more, if there was say that on and There's Something About Mary, I'd watch There's Something About Mary. Even though I've seen it a billion times.
If you want to watch a really, really good Melissa McCarthy movie, watch Spy. Spy is great. Spy is a great movie. Okay. Yeah, Spy's a great movie. You guys can stop DMing me and asking. Next week I review MASH for the Atari 2600. Okay, MXD.
Oh, wow, they made a MASH game? Jeez. Yeah. That was the worst show ever made.
Yeah. I don't know about the worst show, man, but I never really...
Okay, there are some worse ones, you're right, but MASH, I just fucking hate MASH.
I didn't like MASH all that much. There were a couple episodes I didn't mind, but for the most part, Hot Lips was the reason to watch that show, man. But
but the movie was better. Just watch the movie then.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. All right, Eric is going to review Mortal Kombat. I'm going to be away for just a minute. Eric, when you're done, please say so in the chat, and I will come on back.
Okay, Mortal Kombat, which is a reboot film, has nothing to do with the original MK films. Yeah, that theme song sort of is in the end credits, but it's not prevalent in the entire movie.
Oh, that sucks.
There's like one part in the movie that it actually plays in.
That was the best part of the original movie, was the theme song.
And it's only like a few notes of a slightly remixed version of that played.
Gotcha.
And It's much better than I expected it would be. I'd put it above the original Wes Anderson or W.S. Anderson movie,
Ooh, I like that.
but not by much, just enough to put it over. But
Okay.
it has a new original character as the main protagonist of the movie.
And let me say something. I know like people are bothered about that, but Mortal Kombat the game has done that before.
Yeah,
You know,
like
so
creating your own character.
not only that, like, and they had that one character where he started out as a young man and he played through his entire life until he was a fucking ancient old man and shit.
Hmm.
So I mean that doesn't bother me at all. But go ahead.
And I don't think there are any other Tonfa wielders in the Mortal Kombat series. So he's at least unique in that respect. Or at least a Tonfa wielder that has both a blunt Tonfa and a bladed Tonfa. But anyways, I think it hewed better to the spirit of the games than the other films did too. But I'm like, this movie starts out pretty strong and then it kind of peters off towards the end, which is kind of disappointing because you could tell they were rushing because they were running out of money to make the movie better. Because the main character, the new character, gets a decent enough background set up, and the movie before even getting to him shows us the rivalry between Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and when they were both just normal people. Well, apparently Sub-Zero still had ice powers, but he didn't.
Well, that's the game's history. The Link White teach other ice powers, but Scorpion was alive at first.
I think it's kind of funny though, because like Hanzo, Hashashi is his name in this series, which sounds a lot like Hanzo Hattori, which is the ninja he's probably modeled after.
He goes by that in I don't know. It's the last one. No, I didn't play 11, but in 10, when he's a human, that's like he goes by that. They don't call him Scorpion, even though like his name is Scorpion. They call him Hanzo.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, like there are a couple things the movie doesn't explain, like how the heck Scorpion survived all those years, or Sub-Zero, I mean. But like the other.
So it is the same guy. Like they didn't like in the game. Like there are multiple Scorpions. Like I mean, the original Scorpion's long dead, and he was replaced by his brother.
Well, without spoiling the plot, like the Scorpion that you see in the beginning of the movie is a Scorpion at the end, but you'll have to see why. But the Sub-Zero is as well. But that doesn't mean there won't be different Sub-Zeros or Scorpions in the next film, because there is a sequel hook. But who knows if we'll get one, because they'll really ride on how successful this movie is.
Yeah.
But the other characters are kind of underdeveloped. And I saw someone on Twitter was upset that they were setting up Kano as being a reverse heel, going from bad to good, getting a redemption arc, and they don't do that because he's Kano. And they're kind of upset that they kind of didn't subvert expectations. But like, I don't know too many people who are actually mad by that.
Yeah, like I don't want a good Kano. I'm sorry. Like he's Kano. He's a dick.
Yeah, he could have. Like I guess they wanted like a Bakugo type of character from My Hero Academia who's just a gigantic asshole, even though he's a superhero.
Yeah, I gotcha.
That would have been a fun way to see Kano, but I don't think you could do Kano any other way than villain.
Yeah, they can do that with other characters though. Like some of the more modern characters, like the children, they could probably do it with one of them.
But yeah,
have
like
you pooped today? Asked Frank in chat.
But
and
yeah,
the
other characters are undercooked and that's kind of a weakness of the movie. It's too. So it is fun though, and it's just under 2 hours long. Okay. And I'm gonna give this a 7.5 because I'd give the original Mortal Kombat movie a 7, and I'd give Annihilation a fucking 3 because Annihilation was that bad.
If I could give Annihilation a negative score, I would.
But
Frank, you can come back now, Tom.
Yeah, you can come back, Frank.
Come on back, Frank.
Is
Yeah,
he
I saw
looking in
the.
the chat room?
I let in chat. I saw that talking about HBO's numbers, like Godzilla's done fantastic. Godzilla versus Kong, fantastic. But the Snyder cut, apparently, most people aren't finishing it
Because
because I
it's
guess,
too long.
yeah, I guess because it's a 4-hour movie. Like I shouldn't say most people, but a lot, like a big number of
This
people
is
haven't
why they
finished it.
should have split it into 2 movies. They knew they
Maybe.
couldn't though, because people were already waiting for it.
Yeah.
But like, it's like people, you can just go back to the movie when you're ready to watch it again.
Yeah.
They rushed. It was rushed to begin with. Like they were so wanted to catch up with the MCU that they just rushed in head first and tried to pack as much content in at once, instead of like the MCU build it up and build it up and build it up.
Hey guys, I'm back. What did you give Mortal Kombat, Derek? 7.5.
7.5.
And you, Break?
I didn't see it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it. Okay.
No,
All right.
I listened to Eric's spoiler-free review.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I'm gonna watch it tonight. At least I plan on it, unless Mrs. Breakman tells me no.
Yeah. We know who wears the pants there. Okay, well, there's your review of Mortal Kombat. I'm sure Break and I will have more to say about Mortal Kombat next week. Let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
Ah, what is it?
Stinko of the week.
Breakman, your Stinko of the week.
I'm guessing you probably want to go last.
Yeah, I'm definitely going last.
My stinko last week was the rise in violence that we've seen, and police violence and civilian violence and stuff like that. Well, that hasn't abated at all.
Yeah.
It's still going on strong, and it's horrible. I can't believe the amount of people are dying just from violence in this country right now.
Yeah,
The
well,
racists
I mean,
doubled down as soon as they heard that verdict. That's what happened.
it's not surprising to me, Breakman, because we as a country have more guns than people.
Yep.
So
I know.
it's to be expected at this point. We're now at over 1 mass shooting a day in this country.
Yeah.
So it's becoming more and more dangerous to
I
live
know.
in this country.
It's
So,
sickening, and in half of our legislation, their answer is to get more guns out there.
yeah.
Well, everybody needs gun. We need to have like less gun laws. Like the good guy stops the bad guy. Like that's the way we do it. Well, even though studies have proven that doesn't actually fucking happen.
Yeah. Freak
They
Fight.
have done numerous extensive studies on it, and the good guy with the gun theory.
Never
it's just
mind,
not
like
theory.
doing things that could help cut down on the number of quote unquote bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need police reform. We need prison reform for sure. I don't think there should ever be a prison that's
Gun
for
reform.
profit. Anytime you have for-profit prisons, then there's
Yep.
incentive to keep people in jail. And that should never, ever be a society's feeling. We should never want to put people in jail. You know what I mean? Like it's backwards thinking, and it all goes back to what we talk about all the time, Breakman. Money and politics. That's all it is. If we could get rid of money and politics, we could have real discussions on police reform, maybe abolishing the police altogether. I mean, there are alternative forms of policing without policemen and women. I mean, it's true. It can happen, but in order for that to happen, we'd have to have prison reform first and get rid of private prisons. Private prisons never do anybody any good ever, because it's all about the almighty dollar and how much money people can get putting people in jail, and it's ridiculous, and it's time to end that type of our
Just like
prison
with the
system sucks.
With the police, for instance, like just a traffic cop, like they have goals and shit like that. They shouldn't have a goal as to how many people they're supposed to pull over. Like that's
Right,
forcing
right.
a cop to go out and interact with people just because. Like that's why people get pulled over for stupid shit, like your your temporary plates in your
Right.
back window instead of like on the plate itself.
There's
That
a
is the stupidest shit ever.
Right. There's a big disconnect between policing, Breakman, and people. And it has to do with things like that. Like if somebody has an expired plate for a week or something, and you pull them over, you find out the situation, right? Maybe they just didn't have enough money that week. Why would you give them another ticket and cause them that much more money? That could be a life-changing
No,
event in somebody's
even
life.
that, I don't think they should be pulled over for something
I
stupid
agree.
like that.
I agree. I totally agree. I mean, it's just dumb. I mean, this whole thing. And by the way, whether you're a sovereign citizen or not, you can drive in this country without a license plate and without a license. I don't know if people knew that, but
Well, it
I
depends on
just
where you are, because some states override those laws. Like in Ohio, they want you to have front and back license plates.
you still don't need them, even in Ohio, Breakman. Like this country
They'll
is.
pull you over without
They
them.
will. They will, and that's part.
MXC's talking about Grand Theft Pog.
Oh.
The guy. Okay, but first off, Freak Five says his grandma fell and broke her hip. That's terrible, Freak
Ooh,
Five.
that
Hopefully,
sucks.
yeah, it really sucks, man. MXT says he once put lots of people in jail. Guy who cut me off at the stoplight. The girl who ate the last fresh Cinnabon before me. The kid in 8th grade who stole my damn pogs. Yeah, you know. I think the death penalty for those people, MXT. I'm not thinking about pulling people
Man,
over.
I got
you
a
know?
long list of people I can start adding to that too.
Yeah. Fucking city planted a tree on my property. What the fuck, freak?
Dude, the city did it to us years ago, and it's the fucking worst. The trees they planted have destroyed the sidewalk. They killed the bushes, and they've brought fucking squirrels to this neighborhood in mass because it's fucking 2 acorn trees.
Oh God. You know, Freak Five. There's nothing that says you can't kill off that tree. You know, I mean, just pour a little bit of salt and you'll be good to go, man. You know.
I'm guessing it was like a city beautification project or something. It was like it. They do these things without really thinking. Like you're putting a giant tree next to the curb, like
Yeah.
that thing's gonna grow roots. It's gonna damage the concrete next to it. You
Pipes.
idiots.
That's another thing. Sometimes they get into the pipes and. Ugh,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's asinine, and these morons think they're doing a good thing. Like, look, we're helping the environment.
Yeah.
That's what-
Now, if you want to help the environment, you don't cut down forests.
Yeah. How about that? How about get away from paper and cutting down trees and shit like that? You know, plant trees where they need to be planted, not in the city. Like.
I've
you
been
know.
waiting for years for people to invent the 3 goddamn seashells. Goddamn sake.
All right, Breakman. Anything else on your stinkos?
I guess I could complain about this. I don't know if I just with Biden now, like he's doing a lot of the things that I said were going to happen with Trump, because he was taking more power, and that's
Yeah.
just that leads on to the next guy. So now like Biden's like all these executive orders and his deciding that he should weigh in on like court cases and stuff. And even if his opinion is right, that's not the point, because we had the last guy who fucking would lie about everything and interfered in court in the public court cases, and
Yeah.
swayed
Yeah.
opinion on some of them, like swayed public opinion on Roger Stone, for instance.
Yeah.
So
I
these people-
actually.
Here's a PSA. Like, remember how I said that he was backtracking on getting out of Afghanistan? This
Yes.
is what he means by getting out. He means reducing the number of military personnel, but getting privatized PMCs.
Oh,
That's not
boy.
what he said at first. That's not what he said at first, which makes me pissed off.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's another stinko, him backtracking on that, and then his weak, stupid gun rules.
Yeah.
I
Well-
am sick of this bullshit. Like it was like what happened a few years ago or 2
Yeah.
years ago in Las Vegas with the whole bump stock. Like
Yeah.
this was like this
Yeah.
national thing. Like we gotta get rid of the bump stock.
Yeah.
We gotta get rid of the bump stock. Has it done a goddamn thing?
No. And
It was nothing. It was a red herring to fucking begin with.
Yeah.
And Biden's got one of those now too.
Yeah.
Biden
Biden.
is like, well, it turns his gun into from a semi-automatic to an automatic. Well, yeah. Well, you can go get something out of your house and do that too.
I was actually impressed with a lot of the things Biden was doing at the beginning, Breakman, not because he's a Democrat, because I think it was just a stark contrast to Trump. But he's no
And
better,
there are
man.
good things like the vaccine rollout's been going
Well,
well.
the
Yeah.
first things he did were like the rolling back of the rollbacks that Trump had done from
Yeah.
the Obama administration.
Yeah,
That were
that's
just
Which was
done
definitely
just
the
to
thing, yeah.
That was done just to spite him because he's the opposition party to Obama.
You guys remember what I said
so
about?
even if they were good, he did that. He rolled them back.
You guys,
most of them weren't good.
you guys remember what I said about Obama, right? He was a nothing president. He didn't do anything, right? Well,
Except
that's
gets involved in war and talk a lot.
right. Well, that's going to be
Biden.
Biden.
Gaslighting people.
That's going to be Biden. So and MXT says Biden is a placeholder for Kamala Harris. I doubt that.
Why do
MXT.
you keep saying stupid shit like that? Like, I know you're joking, MXT, but like that is what some Republicans actually believe. Like
Yeah.
some of the nonsense from Republicans is just absolutely
They
ridiculous.
think, they think he's just gonna kill over one day, and it's gonna be Kamala.
Yeah. MXT
Like,
says
they think that the plan is her, like he's just getting her warmed up, like she's
Yeah.
gonna take over eventually. And
I mean, it may happen, it may not. We'll see. Hopefully not, because she's one of the biggest
don't-
cops ever. So
I don't think she would be. I don't know how well she would do as the primary ticket.
she would suck. That's how it would be. She's got a terrible track record as a prosecutor in California, man. So, if you want more people in jail and no sympathy for marijuana users and a bunch of other bullshit that goes along with Kamala Harris, then that's the way you'll go. MXT says, I'm not done. There's more people in my arrest list. My 12th grade English teacher for telling me I couldn't do my senior project on Hulk Hogan. Oh boy. My sister for getting on my nerves. My uncle for always giving me $5 instead of $10 for my birthday.
Well, now you're just being greedy.
My neighbor for running over my frisbee in 1995 with his lawnmower. Fuck him too. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree actually with most of that, MXT.
He's holding some long time grudges.
I know,
man.
man. Damn. Holy shit. He never forgets anything.
Frisbee 30 years ago.
Frisbee. For a frisbee. Oh boy. All right. Anything else, Breakman? Any other stinkos?
Imagine that. Imagine this is like a comic book. Like his evil backstory is that his frisbee was destroyed by his evil neighbor and
Right.
turned him evil too.
And that's what made him a villain. Yeah.
Yeah, it made him go on a killing rampage over his frisbee.
Yeah.
Frisbee, no frisbee.
That was my only frisbee, and you tore it up with your lawnmower.
He was my only friend, and now you're gonna die.
And MXT drew a face on the front of the frisbee, and it was like his only friend.
Like Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he had a castaway frisbee, man. Yeah. All right, Breakman. Anything else?
No.
All right, Eric, you're up.
Yours is way worse.
Stinkos. Oh boy. Nancy Pelosi congratulating Floyd for his quote unquote sacrifice.
I thought that was actually awful,
Yes.
Eric, and I cannot believe those words came out of her mouth. She congratulated.
Did she do that on purpose, or was she just out of her mind when she said that?
Well, she's always out of her mind.
She's always been about appearance
Yeah.
above anything else. That's why when there was this one thing, what was it? She had to get gold pins to sign off on sometime last year.
Yeah.
When so much other shit was going on, she had to make a big deal out of this signing with gold. What was that?
Well, and did you see the photo op she had with Chuck Schumer wearing African garb and shit like that? Man, it was disgusting, man. She's a disgusting human being. I've said it before on this show. I can't stand the motherfucker. I can't wait till she either dies or gets voted out, man, because she's
That's never gonna
awful.
happen.
She's awful.
They won't vote her out. San Francisco loves her.
I don't understand why. What has she ever done?
Because
Everybody
she's the lady. That's why.
Name recognition.
Everybody
This is-
said-
that's what fucking neoliberals do.
Eh.
They go, oh, they're woman. They're different though, so we have to praise her.
why?
The thing is, most people don't watch a lot of politics, so they'll see the sound bites on the news and stuff like that, and they'll base their opinions on that. So, and Nancy Pelosi knows that, so she is always about appearance and how things
This is why I
look
was
over everything else.
It's like,
Yeah.
Rob, do you pay attention to the fucking politics of Obama for the last 8 years? Because I sure as fuck did.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I have every right to say Obama's garbage, and if you don't want to hear me, then that's your problem.
Yeah, I agree with
I mean,
you, Eric.
Trump is the worst president in the history of the planet.
Right.
And Nancy Pelosi, her fights against him were ripping up a transcript,
Yeah.
getting up and yelling at him in a meeting, stuff like that. She
Yeah.
didn't do a goddamn thing for us.
She did nothing at all. She watched as everybody fell ill during a pandemic, didn't want to fucking give us fucking checks. Somehow it got negotiated down from 2,000 to 1,400, and they said, "Oh well, the $600 check that you guys got counts." It's like, no, we need that plus another 2,000 plus another 2,000 month after month.
You know, like Canada did,
Yes.
Japan did, and
So
a lot of other
stupid.
countries did because they realized that, people need to live.
Yeah.
They
MXT
need
says,
food, they need rent, they need electricity, they need water. Like,
yes,
these are needs.
yes, you're right,
I've
Breakman.
got 2 more stinkos.
Okay, hold on, Eric. MXT says, hey, that was my damn Pizza Hut Frisbee. It was made to look like a Pizza Hut box, probably worth thousands of dollars now. And last but not least,
Nah.
fuck my district manager from Blockbuster who wrote me up for not saying welcome to Blockbuster when he walked in the door because it was on the mystery shop checklist. I hope he's a broke alcoholic now and in
You should
jail.
have worked at Hollywood, I'm just saying.
Exactly. Hollywood was a better place to rent videos anyways, man. It totally was. I rented from both, but I really like...
There was no Hollywood here. There was... You had to go all the way to Asheville for Blockbuster, or when Farmore was a thing, you could have gone and rented videos there. Or if you were where I lived, there were 2 other video stores. There was First Row. That closed down. Then there was Theater Video.
Now we're stuck...
We had network video.
Yeah, now we're stuck with a giant red box with no personality to rent from, man. That's what our lives have come down to.
I prefer the box in front of my, or like under my television.
Yeah.
Like just turning that on. That's how I like it.
Yeah, I just turned
too.
my Xbox on to one of the streaming services.
I do that for the most part, but I do rent from Redbox still. I don't know. I'm just still holding on, I guess, to being able to rent actual physical discs.
I worked in an actual video store, and I don't have that nostalgia at all.
Well, now that I have a
with it. I'm done
PS5
with
and a Series X, though, I don't even want to rent from Redbox because they won't give you Ultra HD.
There's some that do. There's some. They're starting to more and more, but it's a dying thing. Redbox not going to be around.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Warner Brothers is getting out of the disc media business.
Yeah, well, good.
I'm not
Fuck them.
surprised.
Yeah,
that's not good because like people like that stuff, but they are also mishandling in the first place. So I can't understand why they're doing it.
Yeah,
because they're losing money because they don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Okay, what else you got, Eric?
But Michael Shermer is a fucking clown because
yes.
Who thinks it's a good idea to do an interview with Jordan Peterson,
Ugh.
a guy who got COVID because he kind of is an anti-vaxxer?
Yeah.
Ugh, anti-vaxxers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Among other terrible things that Jordan Peterson's done or said.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson is he won't
He's
come
a
out.
pseudo-intellectual.
He is. I wish I could talk to Jordan Peterson to dress him down because Jordan Peterson. He does act like an intellectual, and he is nothing.
He's also a transphobe, which that's probably another reason Shermer put him on there.
Yeah, that's true. Shermer's a piece of shit too, man.
Speaking of which, Richard Dawkins also gets my stinko of the week. But this is kind of a sweeto though because of what happened. Because here's the article from The Guardian.
Yeah.
Richard Dawkins loses his Humanist of the Year title over trans comments.
Yeah.
And that's the stinko part. Let's see. What did he actually say? Okay. Here's the tweet. In 2015, Rachel Dolezal, a white chapter president of an NAACP, was vilified as identifying as black, or talking to Twitter. Some men choose to identify as women. Some women choose to identify as men. You will be vilified if you deny that they are literally what they identify as. Discuss. I could see that going over well.
It's so tone deaf. Like, I'm so over Richard Dawkins. I used to think that he was one of my heroes, Eric. And I'm so over him, man. He said too many bad things about minorities and trans people and gay people over the years that I'm done. He's a brilliant guy. Like he's super smart, but
no, he was brilliant. I think he's just losing it now.
Well, you can't take away his intellect, Eric. I mean, there's nothing I can say that. I mean,
there are a lot of smart geniuses that were Nazis too.
It's It's
When's
like
the last time he wrote a major thesis?
it
Not
it doesn't
lately.
matter. It's like that's like okay, Eric. Let me break it down. It's
I'm
like
not. I'm,
For
no,
instance,
Frank,
Mitch
I'm not
McConnell
saying
is
you
is an
shut
evil
both of you.
person.
Can I get this out?
yeah. Go
No.
ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
I'm
Eric.
not saying that he shouldn't be credited. He should be discredited because of his past works.
Right.
I'm just saying, who cares about him anymore?
I agree. I agree with you 100%. As I just said, like in my mind, he's canceled. Like I thought his books on biology and evolutionary biology were brilliant. I read the God, what was it, the God Delusion.
This is why I don't get Christians who will continually use him as a straw man, because
I
like
don't understand.
he is a
like,
literal straw man now. You don't
Yeah.
need to beat on him because he's too pathetic at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah. What were you
I don't
saying, Break?
understand going out of your way like to talk bad about somebody who is different from you.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Basically,
Like it.
that's what they're doing. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Like,
It,
why does it matter what somebody else does with their life to you?
yeah.
If you even know the person, usually no. Usually they don't.
Yeah, MXT says never meet your heroes, Frank. That's totally true, MXT. Like, I'm sure if you were to meet Hulk Hogan, MXT, you would have a different opinion of that guy, that piece of shit, man. Like, I don't know why they keep bringing back that corpse for WrestleMania, man. He was awful during WrestleMania. He's an awful guy in real life. Like, he's just, I mean, and this guy, Richard Dawkins, like I said, I mean, I used to read his books and, the Selfish Gene, the God Delusion, stuff
I still
like
need
that.
to read The Selfish Gene.
Those are good books, man. But like, how can you like look at those books in any lens other than the lens that he gives us now? It's like, I don't know. It's like when you find out that the lead singer of your favorite band was a womanizer. It like totally taints your view. It just that's just the way it is, man. So yeah, I agree with that. What else you got, Eric? I think that's it.
Those were it.
Okay, give me a
But I
sec.
want to pull up the article just so you people can look at it.
Yeah. All right, give me a second on this, guys, because it's going to be a little hard for me. First off, Shock G passed. The rapper Shock G. If you guys don't know who Shock G was, it's because you're probably not as old as me and Breakman, probably. But the Humpty Dance, the guy that sang the Humpty Dance and a bunch of other tunes, passed away. So that's pretty rough, man. That's a rough one. But not as rough as the next one, which I tweeted out. Like, I don't know. Last week I told you guys that, my idiot family, basically my sister, her two idiot daughters, and their boyfriend, whoever else was in this fucking house, let out my dog, right? So I lost my dog. The ramifications were, I didn't have my dog, and it was awful, and it felt bad, but it didn't feel as bad until I found out that my dog got ran over and is dead. So that was what happened when they let my dog out. They didn't let their dog out because, why would they do that? So I blame them. My family is a bunch of dicks, pretty much, except for maybe my mom sometimes.
Well, once they move to Mexico, I wonder if they'll do something so stupid that they'll be reverse deported.
Well, my sister's moving to El Salvador, which basically the same thing, and hopefully nothing happens and she stays there because I can't stand her, man. Like, she's the cause of a lot of issues here. MXT says put them in jail. I wish I could, MXT, for life, man. I mean, the loss of a dog is profound. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like this.
If only Frank could become a fan of thieves
It's a
and
family
change their
member.
heart.
It's the loss of a family member is what
It is, man, and it sucked. Like I tweeted out a picture. Like Bernie had even bought like tutus and shit to put on this dog, and it's like you can't explain the loss. It's just it's like you said, Break, man. It's a member of your family. It's like it's
Does
awful.
Frank have a dog that he lost? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know. He says, "Damn it, Frank, your stinko needs a trigger warning." I mean, I don't know how else to put it, Freak 5. I mean, I've been mourning all week, and that's why I didn't really get a chance to play a lot of video games, man. Like, every time I went to go put on my PlayStation, like, I would look over, and my buddy, my little dog that would always be there, and, is not there anymore. And you know what? I didn't even want the dog to begin with, but I grew to love the dog, and it fucking sucks. Like, I just don't understand the cruelty of people, and stuff. But that kind of leads me into Sweetos.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet! Sweet of the week!
All right, I got two Sweetos. It leads in.
You found your sister dead?
I
Sorry.
wish, man. That would be actually really cool.
I
Like
wouldn't
some-
say it to most people, but I think you'd enjoy that one.
Oh man, I trust me. If I got news that she went on the plane and everybody on the plane was safe except for her, and she had a heart attack on the plane, or the plane crashed and
The
only
plane
she died.
crashed. She was the only victim.
Yep, I
remember
mean,
the plane got
I
hurt.
would be trust me, Breakman. I would be happier than a pig in shit, man. I'm telling you. It would not. It would. I keep telling. I mean, I've told Bernie several times. Like, I want to live just like one day longer than my sister, so I can visit her fucking grave and pee on it. That's how I feel. Like I can't stand her, and she's been an awful human being to me for like almost 40 years. And it just sucks. So and I don't blame her in particular, but she was the oldest adult in the fucking house, so she could have at least said close the door, or let's not let the dog in, or let something. But nobody did anything. They were a bunch of fucking cowards, and I don't care who hears it. That's just the way it is. But it does lead to my Sweeto. Like the way that I found out that my dog had got run over, and I'm glad I have finality, because I would always have that in the back of my mind. I wonder what my dog is doing, all this stuff, but at least it's finality, But the way I found out is through an app. A guy said, or I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but they said they had ran over a dog, and it was at a certain place and stuff like that. But before that, there were a bunch of people that were complete strangers. So that's my Sweeto of the week, the kindness of strangers. I don't think everybody in the world is bad, right?
Right.
I think there are a lot of good people. There's more good people than there are bad people. But there was an outpouring of support from the local community here where I live, that were trying to help us find our dog, because we were frantically looking every day. We'd go out, or I would go out at least, with my car up and down the streets, and look for her and stuff like that. But there were people that were constantly saying, is this your dog? I found this dog at the shelter. Is this your dog? So there were people that were helpful. And when I found out that this was indeed the dog, my dog, that got crushed, basically, there was an outpouring of support from people. Oh my God, that's terrible. I wish you the best. Thoughts and prayers. All this stuff. And there's no solace in losing your pet, but at least I knew that there were people that cared. And that to me is that's really hard for me, guys. That to me meant a lot. And I just don't know what to say. I mean, your pet is everything. It's if you I mean, I have two kids, and I hold them above all else, but right below that is pets, and it's the reason I didn't want a dog in the first place, man, because you get that attachment and shit like that happens. But I guess my Sweeto is the kindness of strangers, and the outpouring of support after, was pretty touching. So, that's what I'm going to say about that. My other Sweeto of the week is guilty, 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 right? 3 guilty verdicts for Derek Chauvin, who killed George Floyd. No,
I'm kind of upset why they ruled the way they did, though.
I don't care why they did.
Because they can sacrifice one bad cop to keep the status quo.
There's no
gross.
status quo. The genie's out of the bottle, Eric. Like, something's got to give, man. Like, during the trial, Breakman put it very succinctly. Nothing changed, So I think it's the precursor for something that is going to change, and I don't know what, but I'm hoping that it is the precursor. But guilty, guilty, guilty. Hopefully he gets.
I don't know, because the right wing media is going, like, have you seen Tucker Carlson? He's melting down over it.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about Tucker Carlson.
But I'm saying, like, that's what the conservatives are going with. Like, the whole conservative mentality is like the cops are now they're under fire. Like this is ridiculous. Like cops can't do anything right, and like this.
Well, stop killing people. How about that? I mean, that's a start. I mean, stop having trigger. Did you see the 13-year-old
Stop
that
being
was
trained
killed?
like military personnel.
Stop outfitting them with military
Yeah.
outfits. Stop giving them fucking Humvees and military gear and AK-47s and all this other
Unless
shit.
they're in the neighborhoods of the people that own those. Like the people that own the assault rifles, like they own a lot of assault rifles. So.
Well, that's a big problem. But that's not, I mean, I don't think any.
I'm just saying, if the police want to police them with assault rifles, that's fine by me. But leave the rest of us alone.
Yeah, well, I mean, it in the real world,
It won't happen that way.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying.
right. Let me get caught up on chat. Let's see. Lost multiple dogs over the year. I have 2, Freak 5. It never gets easier. Dead dog stories a trigger. Is this the same dog you were always yelling at to shut up during the show? It was, Freak 5. It was that dog, man. And I was with her for a lot of the time. Like, I would take Bernie to work, and I'd have the dog with me pretty much 24/7. You know, the one time that we left to go do something, and we couldn't leave the dog in the room because I didn't want it shitting and pissing in here. Left it outside in the back and ended up dead. So that's just how it is, man. And no, Bernie is not below my pets, Freak 5. She's up there with my kids. She's my life partner, whatever. So there you go. But anyway, so the guilty verdict is definitely a Sweeto in my opinion. I think it's a very small incremental step to getting real change. So, Breakman, what you got for your Sweeto?
Well, I think we all agree on that one. My other Sweeto goes to NASA. They flew a fucking helicopter on Mars. How fucking cool is that?
Religion. Did you hear that? Science has put a helicopter on Mars and rode it on Mars. So there you go. Take that, religion. So.
I mean, how fucking cool is that?
It was really cool, man.
I want to be around. I want to live long enough to see stuff like us really, truly exploring planets and stuff. I want to see that stuff so bad. Come on, humanity, kick it into high gear. Let's get this done.
Yeah.
For my sake.
MXT says, I think if this episode has taught us anything, is that government should put me in charge of the police. No, I don't think that's a good idea, MXT. Well, you said your kids were top and below that was pets, so I wondered, Freak 5 said. Okay, well, I set the record straight, Freak 5. There you go. All right. Plus, I got Bernie right next to me, man. Of course, I'm not going to say anything bad about Bernie, Freak 5. All right. Breakman, what else you got?
That's it.
All right, Eric, you're up. Did you have any Sweetos this week?
Not really.
All right, then I guess it's time.
I mean, I guess I do, but my parents gave me $100 Walmart gift card, so I bought the 2 new game releases this week.
Nice.
Which it costs exactly that much.
Nice.
Right.
Judgment and Near Replicant for the Xbox One Series X.
Oh, cool.
Yes. I don't think it has an upgrade path yet, but I do think there are benefits. I think the PS5 version of Near Replicant is coming out later, but who cares? I got a Series X. I don't need it.
Yeah, I know. Both of those systems are good.
I'm not going to buy any more games on a console that has a CMOS battery that's going to die and render the games that you can play on it useless, because they still did that to the PS5. Sony's stupid.
Yeah, I agree with that, but, I mean, I guess if mine goes bad, just buy another. It's like that's all.
Yeah,
all
that's not the issue. The issue is you won't be able to do that eventually because the servers won't be around and you won't be able to play a game because it does a check online. So it's basically online DRM.
Yeah, I agree. That needs to change, man. Sony needs to address that.
They can probably fix that with a firmware update or maybe an emulation suite that or it makes a fake ping that just tricks it into doing it offline.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. There's too much pressure on Sony, but I agree. All right, let's move on.
But I think the consoles that will be made in the future probably won't have that feature, so you won't need that firmware update.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's move on.
It's a free-for-all. Little baby. Yeah, it's a free-for-all. Wow. Suck it.
Okay, this is it. This is the finals. and the semifinals and finals of our tournament to determine the greatest gaming icon of all time, guys. What are you guys ready to go? Let's get this thing done, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, let's go. Excited. All right, we're starting at the bottom here. This is an interesting matchup. I don't know what to think about this. Ryu versus Link. Eric, I'm gonna go with you first.
I'm going with Link.
Okay, Breakman, what say you?
I am actually going to go with Ryu because Link, I mean, he's famous, but he's like, he's only associated with one system, really, Nintendo, whereas Ryu's, he's been on almost every system, pretty much, and
Ooh.
arcades. So you think about arcade games, you think about Street Fighter, or you think about Ryu. So I'm going Ryu.
Oh, this is a good point that you make, Breakman. I was set to go with Link, but now you make me think. Okay, when in doubt, go with them fighting against each other, right?
Oh, that's an interesting match. One's got a sword that throws fireballs.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually go.
Yeah,
with...
but Link, I think he's got more power.
He does have bombs.
Well, he's got bombs, and he can if he's fully like full health, he can throw like lightning out of his
I
fucking
mean, Ryu's
sword.
a powerful fighter, but Link has the Triforce of Courage on
But
his
we're
side.
talking about
Yeah.
we're talking about
If he's
fighting.
full powered, yeah.
We're talking about fighting here, and if ever there was an expert fighter, it would be Ryu. Ooh, yeah, he does got that dark Hadouken thing. MXT says. All right, I'm gonna go with the.
He's also got the power of nothingness, which is basically better than Dark Hado.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Ryu in a shocker.
Yes.
I wanted to go with Link, but man, Breakman makes a good point. Like when you think of arcade games, I mean Ryu has to be at the top of the list, and he's on all the systems. Link is just relegated to Nintendo. I'm gonna go with Ryu, man. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm pretty confident in that too. If those two were to fight, I think Ryu would give him the Hadouken and daze Link and put him away with the
And then
uppercut. So
Akuma shows up and lights go out and they're both dead.
yeah, pretty much.
And
I mean-
Akuma's standing over him like, yep.
Freak Five makes a good point too. He says Link's shield reflects fireballs, but I don't know if they could reflect the Hadouken.
Well, I don't know. In some of the Street Fighter games, he does like full blown Kamehameha
Yeah,
That's
blast.
true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah. I'm going with Ryu. I mean, it's an upset for sure, but hey, that's what happens in these tournaments. They're unpredictable. All right, next tournament, Breakman, you're first up on this one. Sonic versus Pikachu.
Oh man, this is a hard one.
It is.
These are
it really
both like international known characters, you know.
MXT says Sonic.
They both have movies, you know.
Yeah.
Both have cartoons.
I'm going with Pikachu because he's more consistently adorable and memorable than Sonic, because Sonic has had some stinkers over the years.
That's true. Sonic does have stinkers, but he is also the main character of his game, whereas Pikachu is not the main character of his game.
He's the mascot of the series, though, of the franchise.
He is the mascot of the series. That's true. But Sonic's the mascot of Sega is also. I don't know. This is hard. This is a really hard one.
Dungeon's in chat. Welcome back to chat, Dungeon. He says, my second shot ran through me like Sonic. I can still feel my cells changing. So.
Oh, you're growing bigger, stronger, faster than you ever were. Nice. I'm going to go with Pikachu.
Okay, that
I
leaves...
think it's like both of them are international. Sonic's been around longer, but I just think of games like Pokemon Go, and there's so many people that unexpectedly love like Pokemon Go.
Yeah. I think
yeah.
Pikachu's a bigger all-around gaming icon than Sonic. Not by much, because Sonic is up there, but I think Pikachu takes it. I think that's a clean sweep for all of us. Pikachu moves on. If you were just going to say Sonic, I would have been the tiebreaker, and I would have been like, I'm just going to spite Breakman and go with Pikachu.
Okay.
But I think we're all
That makes
agreed,
sense.
though. You're all exiled, MXT says. You can't exile us, MXT. You don't have the power of exile. All right, next matchup, guys. Oh, this is a big one. I'm going to go first on this one. Simon Belmont versus Mega Man. I got to go with the horror factor here, guys. I love Simon Belmont. I love the Castlevania games. I like the Mega Man games as well, but gaming icons, like, I know Mega Man's an icon, but I always think of, like, icons, and Simon Belmont always comes to mind for some reason, as well as Alucard. But I'm going with Simon Belmont. What say you, Mega Man guys? Let's go with Breakman first.
They've both been around about the same line.
Yeah.
I think they both came out in '87. Right?
Yep.
They both have a long storied franchise. I mean, everybody knows I'm gonna pick Mega Man. Let's just stop beating around the bush.
I'm picking Mega Man too.
Oh, how dare you guys override me? I knew you guys were going to do that, man. You sons of bitches. All right,
I
Mega
love
Man.
Simon Belmont, but it's Mega Man.
How dare you? Let's see. Dungeon says the worst was yesterday, but I'm still feeling it a bit today.
I honestly like Trevor more, and I like Julius Belmont even more than those
I
two.
like Trevor Belmont as well. But I do like
Simon's
Simon.
my favorite Belmont.
Yeah. All right. The worst was yesterday. I'm still feeling it a bit today. I feel like my Constitution score deserves a +1 for somebody. Dungeon. I got the first vaccine, the Moderna one, and it was awful for me, man. I felt like I had the one of the worst flus I've ever had.
See, me, I just felt weak, and I got a light cold. But
I
don't
got the
think
Moderna
I don't
one.
think that was because of the shot. I think that was because of I was so worn out.
Yeah, if you guys ever have a chance between Moderna and Pfizer, pick the Pfizer one. It's better, man.
I already
is.
got my first Moderna, so I can't get my second one.
Oh God, man, the first Moderna one was, for me it was rough, man. But I heard people.
I think if you're older, it's rougher.
How dare you? How dare you, Eric? You son of a bitch! I knew you were gonna say that. MXT says I'd like to throw the host of the show in jail for voting against Sonic. How dare you, MXT? You're exiled. All right, and then Dungeon says tough matchup. Belmont's awesome, but Mega Man is great too. Well, I mean, we settled it here apparently.
I can see MXT's like if he ruled the country, there'd be just one giant prison and then a few houses over on the side.
Like him, his family, like
No, I don't think. I think his family would probably be in jail too.
Yeah, they-
like,
well-
He'd be like Judge Dredd.
half of mine would be in
It'd
jail.
him and Hulk Hogan and the hottest women that he likes, and that'd be the only ones not in jail.
Yep. All right, next matchup we got for you: Mario versus Lara Croft. Breakman, do the honors first.
Oh wow. Mario. I'm sorry, Lara Croft. I know you have the movies and Angelina Jolie's nice cleavage, but I don't know, Mario. I mean, if he doesn't win this tournament, I think it'll be an upset.
See, you guys went against Simon Belmont, and Dungeon made a good point.
This just tells me that we need better. We need better representation for women in video games.
I agree. Lara Croft, yeah.
Because none of the women I mean, there are a lot of women in games, but none of them gotten the iconic appeal, and that's entirely due to society.
Yeah. No, you're right, Eric. Dungeon says, but Belmont defeated Death multiple times. I mean, Death. I know. I voted for Simon. Dungeon, blame these guys, man.
Mega Man's defeated Death too, just not personification of Death.
Yeah. Freak said,
He's
I heard
defeated
if
a guy
you.
with skulls on his head, and another guy throws these blades that cut through everything, and some guy with some boomerangs. And
I don't know if you guys
guy
made the
that
right
flips
choice.
gravity on its
Just saying.
side. Like Mega Man's fought a lot of guys.
He's also fight like super powered alien robots.
Let's see. Freak 5 says, I heard if you previously had COVID, the first was rough. That's probably why. I think I had COVID. I can't be sure, but I did go to the hospital because I was feeling like shit one day, and I thought I got the virus, but they wouldn't specifically diagnose me with COVID, but yet they gave me all the COVID paperwork, which is shitty because that's how I could have got out of paying that fucking $1,000, bill, which I still haven't paid, which I'm probably never gonna pay because fuck that. But all right, let's get back to this. I'm also gonna go with Mario. I mean, come on, Mario's like one of the icons of icons. Lara Croft's a huge icon, but not nearly as big
Without
as
Mario, there wouldn't have been other platformers, I think.
Yeah. All right, Eric, you're in agreement, Mario?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get rid of Mega Man here. Let's go
And
Mario
technically,
versus
Tomb
Mega
Raider
Man.
is a platformer.
Let's go with this matchup, guys. Mario versus Mega Man. Eric, go first.
I'm gonna have to go with Mario.
Okay. In chat, let's see. Mario didn't have a tank control, so Mario. Yeah, that's true. Freak Pie says Break is choosing Mario's plumber's crack over Angelina's cleavage. Ooh, that's a level that you break.
He wears suspenders. There is no plumber crack.
Yeah, that's true. He does wear suspenders. That's a good point. Plus, that mustache is pretty sexy. So, All right, Breakman, what say you? Mario or Mega
He
Man?
wears a hat like no other. Oh, God. Mega Man.
Okay, Mario.
No, I'm kidding. Mario.
It's got to be. I mean, it was going to be Mario regardless. I knew, almost anybody that runs up against Mario is going to get killed in this contest, right? So, I don't think Mario has lost a single vote this entire time. I think Mario's been pretty
he just
consistent.
got his own fucking theme park, for God's sake.
I know.
It's kind of hard to argue with Mario.
Yeah, it's called Super Nintendo World, but it's really just Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next matchup, guys.
That's a stinko I should have mentioned. Like, yeah, cases in Japan are spiking where Universal Studios Japan is, because guess what? They all went there and got sick.
Yeah, well, Disney's opening up here. We're opening up, even though we're only at 40% on vaccinations of adults.
And stupid prime minister is like, we're still gonna have Olympics.
Dungeon makes a good point. He says Mario's just so versatile. He really is, man. All right, next matchup, guys. Here,
he can pretend to be a doctor if he wants to.
Yeah, that's true. He was Dr. Mario. Yeah.
Hey, let me see. Doctor, ref.
He's a tennis player, golf player.
Golf player,
a monkey
F1 racer. He's an F1 racer too. So
gigantic. Mario's also a gigantic asshole because he's a villain. In Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I think he's called Jumpman. Then he changed his name.
That's right. He turned over a new leaf, Eric. That's unfair. Okay. Oh well, yeah. I guess you could say he was a villain at 1.2. So there you go. He's like an anti-hero, hero. All right. Pikachu versus Ryu. Let's go
plus Mario introduced doing shrooms to children.
All right, Eric.
Mario wants you to have PSP.
Sorry.
All right, Eric.
I know what you meant. That's why I was laughing.
Pikachu versus Ryu. Eric, what you got?
I'm gonna go with Pikachu.
All right. What say you, Breakman?
For the same reasons I went with Ryu before, I'm going to go with Ryu.
Oh, God. Don't leave it up to me, man. I thought you were just going to go Pikachu and we could just move on.
Pikachu hasn't been around as long as Ryu. Like, you think of arcades, you think of Pac-Man, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
So, like, Ryu,
Scorpion. Those are
Scorpion's
good.
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
gone.
not everybody plays fighting games.
These are good points, man.
Everybody knows what Pikachu is. Not everybody knows who Ryu is.
I disagree. I think almost everybody in the gaming world knows who Ryu is. But I will say Pikachu is an absolute global icon, man. There's if you had like a Mount Rushmore of icons, Pikachu would definitely be there. Mario would be there. Sonic for sure. Maybe Link. It's a tough matchup, man. I want to say Ryu so bad just to make Eric mad. But I can't do it, man. It's got to be Pikachu. He's a bigger gaming icon for sure.
See, I made fun of Mario, but like I take PCP, but there was actually an anti-drug PSA that had Mario's face in it.
Yeah. Okay, here's the finals, guy. We got Mario.
There's also like a sex ed tape of Mario talking about sex ed.
Yeah. Okay, this is a
Plus
huge.
He has his own cartoons, his own fucking movie.
Yep.
With Bob
It's not out yet,
Hoskins.
but, hey.
Yep.
That
Well,
other
there
one.
was that Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? Who played Ryu in that movie?
Oh, that's some nothing actor, I think. Yeah, him and Ken were
They were
thieves
like,
or something. Like the story,
Yeah.
their story was retarded.
Yeah, it was so
I
bad.
shouldn't use that word. It was
It was
bad.
Yeah,
It was bad.
just really bad. Okay, Last matchup here. This is to determine the grand champion here, guys. Mario versus Pikachu. Eric, I'm going to go with you first because I know you're fond of both of these characters.
Probably gonna have to go with Mario.
Ooh, okay. That was pretty quick. Well, then I'm going to go with Pikachu to make it hard for Breakman. So, Breakman,
I'm
take it
sorry
away.
to disappoint you, Frank, because Mario is not a hard choice for me. I think, like I said a few minutes ago, like Mario, if he doesn't win this, I'd be shocked because he is an icon, like up there with Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
And Jurassic Park and Star
He-Man
Wars, stuff
and-
like that.
yeah.
Like he is. When you think of video games, a lot of people they'll think of Nintendo and then they
Yep.
think of Mario.
Yep, Mario's. I mean, I don't disagree, man. I just picked Pikachu because I wanted to make maybe a little bit harder, but
No.
but I don't disagree.
Like,
Mario.
You just want to put everything on me so you can blame me.
Well, that too, man. I mean,
Oh,
if I can blame somebody other than myself, then great, All right. So Mario wins. So now we got to discuss what's next month's tournament. What do you got for next month's Breakman?
My choice for next month is we just did the best video game character or the most iconic. Let's do what is the worst video game character.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with. I was gonna do that MXT. I was gonna say like the best looking. He said hottest gaming character ever, but then that would bring us into misogynistic territory because they would be all women.
So let's do it.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do something more simple. I'm gonna do the greatest. I think we've done enough of these tournaments to determine the greatest video game of all time. So I'm going with greatest video game of all time. Nothing wrong with the little misogyny, MXT. How dare you, MXT? You're Breakman. You're going with what? What did you say? Like the worst
video game character.
Okay. Eric, what are you going with?
Game Boy game. Best
Game Boy games. Okay,
Best
yeah,
Game Boy
perfect.
game.
Great. So cool. All right. Well, there you go. Those are your choices for next month's tournament. Be sure to check
We're
out.
only going to give you 4 days to vote on this one, so Frank doesn't have to wait till the last minute again.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's really rough to come up with these tournaments like last minute. But okay, so that's the poll. You guys are gonna want to check out at RP Grinders. You got 4 days to vote. If you're listening on this archive, maybe a little bit less, but go vote. That way we know, definitively what you guys want in a tournament as far as these choices go, and then I'll have some time to put it together and get with these guys if I'm having trouble and stuff. I haven't had much trouble, but last minute's always kind of shitty. So, but whatever. So go to at RP Grinders. Make sure you guys vote on the poll. Even if you're in chat, go and vote. Breakman usually has these polls up like in no time, so it'll be up soon. And I'll retweet and all that good fun stuff too if you're following me. So, all right, that was a fun tournament, guys. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it as much as I did,
It was
but
good.
I thought I liked it.
I'll have this pull up in just a moment.
All right, there we go. Okay, let's do our plugs. Breakman, plug away.
You can follow me at Breakman on Twitter, at Break_man on Twitter, and at RP Grinders on Twitter. And soon,
Wow, look at that. He's a little
soon
bit of.
Hammy will get his own account.
There you go. All right. I want the cowbell account, man. That's what I want. But well, that's to be determined. Okay. Anything else, Break?
Nope.
All right, Eric, you're up.
All right, you can find reviews on either the feed for RP Grinders or BostonBashBrigade.com where I write them. And if you like what I've written or done audio of review, and you want to support me, sending me as little $1 on my Patreon would help out. And you can go there through my Twitter profile, which is at EricRPG.
Yep.
It's the fastest way to just go there.
Yep. Follow at Eric RPG on Twitter, and in his bio there. You can click on the link and donate to help Eric do these reviews. They're pretty tough. IQ Bioshock 122 says, "Want to become famous? Buy followers and viewers."
It's a bot.
Yeah, I know.
Really? How much? How much? Let us know. I need to know. I need to buy followers.
Yeah, I know.
I
If
need
you
friends.
click on that link, Breakman, at your own risk.
I've got money. I need friends.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, you can follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches. You can follow the show, as I said earlier, at RP Grinders. My listing of RP Grinders host is Harmy at the top, then Break, then Eric, then Pandalicious, Mug, Kaijudo, and at the bottom is Frank. Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, that figures, Freak 5.
Kaijudo came out on top of you.
Oh,
Man.
boy.
Wow.
It's really
Jim
bad.
Sally's not even on here. That says something.
That's really
doesn't
bad if
Where's
Kaijudo
Stealth
beat
at?
me.
Stealth didn't get enough.
I know Stealth didn't get any love. Neither did Vincent Aron.
I was
Or
about to say Vincent. Yeah. What is this? What's up with that, man?
yeah, how
What's up
dare
with
you?
this?
How dare you,
Yeah.
Freak? Well, at least I'm above them, right, Freak 5? Wow, that's special, Freak 5. Okay. Yeah, my
Oh, cowbell. Where did cowbell come in?
yeah,
Damn it.
Cowbell wasn't even on that list. That's not even a list, Freak 5. How dare you? Okay.
That's a sad. You're getting sad cowbell.
All right.
You are cowbell's feelings.
I want to thank all the chatters that were in chat
Lumen
today.
isn't even on here either, so.
I want to thank MXT was in there. Dungeon, welcome back, Dungeon. Hope you're feeling better, dude. I didn't know you got your second dose. Yosefsa7 was in there. Good friend Freak 5 was in there, of course. And I think that was a Dungeon. I think I mentioned MXT. Who did I miss? Anybody? Bernie was in chat too. I can't forget Bernie. Jeez, wow, she's right next to me. She'll hit me. Okay. Let's see. I forgot about Stealth, and I started listening after Vincent left the show. Freak 5 says so. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Cowbell is between Panda and Mug. Wow. I'll make sure and let them know that. Okay, that's gonna wrap up our show for today. Stealth is above Kaijudo. Freak 5 says. Okay, well there you go. I mean, we all
Dead air's
know.
above Kaijudo, but that's beside the point.
We all know the real list. I think it's a little reverse there, but whatever. Okay. That's about it. Let's see. Thank everybody for listening. Blah blah blah. Go see Mortal Kombat. I want it to be supported because I want sequels like that are rated R and adulty, like with the blood and stuff. So, and make sure you check out Godzilla vs. Kong. I think it's still on HBO Max. So,
Well, even if it leaves, it'll probably come back because they're canning Blu-ray prints, so it's gonna have to find a home somewhere, and that's probably the best home for it.
yeah.
I know they said it's done real well in movie theaters, especially overseas. So I don't know how long it's going to be out in movie theaters. It might be a while.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I watched it because it was really fun. It's one of the few movies I gave a 10 to. So All right,
If you're going in to see Godzilla fight King Kong,
that's what you're gonna get.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a great movie, man. I mean, it's just really well done too. The effects weren't all stupid like most CGI, and I don't know. I liked it.
Fight
But
scenes were so well done too. Like
Freak
you
says
see
I'm
that-
watching it as soon as we're done. So let's get done here, guys. Do you guys have anything else?
No, he wants us to finish us so he can go play.
Okay. All right. Get over here. All right. That's about all we got for the show today. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you're listening on archives, thank you as well. Really appreciate it. Whether it's YouTube or Twitch or on the feed. Yeah.
What? Why'd you stop?
Make
I'll
sure-
give you a soundtrack.
Yeah. Make sure that you guys listen to Eric's audio reviews. They are on the feed, so if you're already subscribed, make sure you listen to them.
Hey, Questbuster, did you listen to my Metal Gear Rising Revengeance review?
City used as a wrestling mat in Kong vs. Godzilla? Check.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys.
City, let me see. We also used the naval fleet as a battleground. Which was fucking
Yep, that's
amazing.
true too. All right, thanks everybody for listening. Stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we are out. Later, everybody. Freak 5 is exiled, and the ruiner of outros is Breakman. So
I didn't mention this in my Metal Gear Rising Revengeance review, but the only thing that's aged poorly is Quentin Flynn as a voice actor for Raiden because he's a sex pest.
Okay. Follow Bernie's OnlyFans. She had fun with a sweet potato. Wow, Freak 5. That's next week, Freak 5. You weren't supposed to spoil it. God damn it.
Whoa. What happened this week?
Wouldn't you like to know, Breakman? Wouldn't you like to know? All right, everybody in chat, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks for listening. You guys rock. Later.